Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshanna
and Marnie.
So
we need to work on not speaking over each other when we get excited. Because actually, I think we do a good job when we're not excited. But as soon as we get excited about something, it's just noise.
Yeah. The thing, I listened back to the bear, and I know there was a time when we were like, ah! And it was the hug with Sid and Carmi, and we just were like, oh my god, I can't believe they did it, and I didn't hear a lot.
And you were,
and I knew what was happening, but I didn't hear a lot of what was happening.
Yeah.
That's why one day we will do a video, but it wouldn't make sense because
we'll do a video of what?
Of a video podcast.
Oh right, okay. I thought you meant a video of all the times where we've just been screaming.
No, I mean that won't be enjoyable.
No,
but it'll be fun.
Would want to watch that.
That being said, that my siblings keep on sending me like the memories videos that you get on iPhone, or my brother has Samsung, and it's actually very cute how they like combine so many moments of us together. And there was an image or photo that my brother had taken of me and my sister sleeping in the exact same way, and that was like the final closing shot. And I was like, oh, very sweet, but also nice.
And you mentioned that because I'm actually I'm waiting to see how that is relevant.
No, I was halfway through the story. I realised
you're like, I just wanted to tell a fun story.
No, because we were talking about doing a video podcast, and then you said the compilation of all the funny moments.
Oh, and that made you think
the compilation of the funny moments that I've had with my siblings. I'm doing that a lot, really unrelated stories. Is that something? Is it because I'm just
dementia.
Like no? Is it because I just love connecting stories to keep the fire going, keep the hope alive?
I think it just might be how your brain works, because I do a similar thing, and I realise it's because like someone will say something and make me think of something.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think my brain just works on like connecting things to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, rather than like just a straight line from this to this.
To that, yeah.
You know?
I mean, when I was younger, I mean, you've known me for a very long time. I have been, and at moments I am an introverted person, and I always kind of struggle with conversation or keeping the conversation going.
Yeah, you're a bad conversationalist.
Someone who has a podcast with me. No, but
no, I'm joking.
No. I mean, I have my moments. Can't speak, but I struggled in terms of like the awkwardness of gaps and like not being able to continue the conversation, or like the subject kind of dies and it's kind of like silent. And I think that for some people they love it. They love the silence. And for me, I'm like, we can now feel it. And as I've got older, I'm like, oh, the way you feel it is add more connecting stories, and they keep on connecting.
Yeah.
I've also been surrounded by friends who love a tangent.
Yeah.
And who love connecting stories to a point where we don't get to the original story.
Don't even know why we're talking about this.
Yeah,
but now we're talking about this.
We never finished the story, but we finish the other side quests to get to a new quest.
Literally the question, how are you, is never answered.
No.
Like,
no.
Okay, so basically what happened. Anyway, I need to tell you about the dog. So, okay, so you know my friend Kate? So in 2022, what you need to understand about the Iran war, is like, okay, all of this is going to be relevant to the story that you're going to actually tell me. That's going to explain how you are, the question that I asked you, by the way.
And then we will eventually get there, just not right now.
Yeah, or we never will. And it's fine, because I think of my friendships as just kind of ongoing conversation in which at some point maybe this will be answered, but it might not be today.
True. Maybe that's what a relationship is. I remember someone saying like, being married is a never-ending conversation, which partly scared me, because I'm like, we never stop.
No.
We just continue the conversation.
You always have something to say, I think that means, right? Not literally like we're just going to just be talking to talk. It's just like, well, you're going to come home and be like, how was your day? Oh my God, remember Pamela, who works in finance? Well, she broke her leg.
Yeah, okay.
And now everyone's talking about Pam. Yeah. And you'll be like, I fucking hate Pam. It's like, yeah, so do I, babe. And then you'll just be like, I love you. And they'll be like, I love you. We're so glad we're together.
And then we start the conversation again.
What do you want for dinner?
Yeah,
I would love... Literally.
I don't know. Part of that is like, oh, lovely and warm. The other part of me is, wow.
I'm going to put my headphones on now.
Like, I need me time. I like living at home as an adult. definitely emphasize, like, I needed my alone time. I noticed also with my siblings that we don't like other people being in the kitchen when we cook. Like, it just needs to be just me. Like, my sister, like,
in the kitchen, like they're also cooking, or in the kitchen, like they're just chilling in there.
No, we can chill together. But if I'm cooking, like doing a big cook, yeah, you guys shouldn't be there. Like, my sister will like get Disney Plus open, watch something, and if you come and sit down to start having a conversation, she'll be like,
no, but it's annoying when you're like, I'm actually doing something. I'm doing something, and I'm also doing something.
Exactly.
And now you're trying to add a third thing. No.
Or you know that the person that's gonna come there and sit there while you're cooking wants the food.
Yeah, of course.
Like or it's there to come and taste as you're cooking.
What are you cooking?
Like,
what are you cooking over there? Yeah, let me put my finger in there.
That's my brother. My brother, 100%. He will be like, I have a bit of that. Excuse me, I'm just about to put it in my own mouth. Oh, I'll take a bit of that. What is it about brothers? I don't know.
It's just, I think it's a male thing, because my uncle would do that as well. He'd be like, you'd sit down with like a plate of food in front of you, like, oh, that looks nice. I'll just take a couple of those. It used to make me so, like, me and my sister would be so vexed, and then my nan would be like, don't you want your uncle to eat? You want your uncle to be starving? That's your kid, that's not mine. No. The hell? I don't give a heck. After I've sat, you see me slaving in the kitchen, now you come, let me take a plantain, It's all, there was only 6 plantains on the plate.
And there was only 2 left. Done. And
there's no empathy. There's no, I'm really sorry. I was so hungry. Marnie. It's no. I've swallowed this 4 plantains. And then I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. I'm looking at you.
But what if yes, your future husband, he does that?
No. First of all, mine's gonna cook.
Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it?
It's not the dream. It's the only way that this is gonna work, because I don't cook. I don't clean.
I want to.
Let me show you how I got this. No, for real. I'm laying all my cards on the table. If you want cook, clean wife, she's not here. If you want a wife with a sparkling conversation,
I'm so done.
Good costumes.
Huh? You should see her face right now.
Come get it, baby.
I'm so done. Wait, so he will cook, will you clean? Or you want him to cook and clean?
What else does he do?
Love you.
He cooks, I clean. He cooks and cleans. I organize the house.
But how are you going to organize?
I organize our life together. But
you don't clean.
No, I put the schedule up.
Okay.
And I say, you're going to be cleaning this. You're going to be...
So you delegate. You delegate. Yeah. No, I love that. I not just love that for you. I love that in general.
I love that too. That sounds really nice for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, maybe I do understand why people get cleaners and get 100%. Like, as I'm growing older, I'm like, yeah, I could do with a cleaner, but that being said, I don't want something in my house.
I don't want something in my house. I don't want you clean it in a way that I don't like.
Yeah, true.
Cleaned it. I don't want you moving shit. I don't want to have to like work around your cleaning.
Yeah.
Like,
and also, I don't want to leave my house while you clean it. I need to be here while you're there. What if you steal something?
What if you steal something? I mean, honestly, I don't shit too still. So if you steal it, good luck to you.
But yeah, maybe it's about finding the one that ticks all the requirements.
Exactly.
You see the segue I was about to do?
I can't wait.
Are you dropping down what I'm putting that way? Are you picking
up? Messing it up. It was going so well. I'm about picking up what you're putting down. I am.
Exactly. Great.
I am.
Great.
I have sent Shoshanna a video that I discovered on TikTok in the past few days of a woman who is advertising men to the diaspora.
Yeah.
Men who are based in Ghana. I don't know if she does it all over the continent, but at the very least, she does. She's doing Ghana, and she is basically being like, I've got men who are ready for marriage. Are you ladies interested? And I'm like, how have you verified that this man is ready for marriage? First of all, then also there's a diaspora aspect of the fact that I'm here in sunny old England. He's over there in Ghana.
Come on, collect your green cards.
Of course, he's ready for marriage.
Yes.
Am I ready for marriage is the question.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely ready for marriage. But one of the things that stuck out to me was like when he said he's looking for a woman who he can grow in Christ with, which I'm like, there's something about that language that feels very coded. Yeah. And he said, what was the other thing? He said something like, he doesn't want someone who's not going to be serious and waste his time. And I was like, this is giving very much. Yeah, you are a foolish person and you do nonsense. And when you do the nonsense and the girls pull back and then you turn it around into she was wasting my time.
True.
Are you serious? Because you don't seem serious, sir.
Yeah.
You don't seem serious. And then the matchmaker is like, I met him once. I've met him. He seems like a chill dude. He seems. I want to see that man's bank statements.
Yeah.
I want to see his police records. If you're going to set me up with someone, and made me think of The Materialist, right? Because that was one of the issues in The Materialist. What background checks are you running?
Yeah.
This is a safeguarding issue. To say to women, DM me and I will connect you with a random man that I'm vouching for who I don't actually know.
Yeah. I see your perspective. Like when I watched the video, I mean, I went to the comments because of how she described him.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the matchmaking part of it is definitely an art to it. And I think it's really hard because people can come with their representatives, including to matchmakers, and be like, I want X, Y, and Z. I'm this great guy. I'm just looking for love, blah, blah, blah. And unless you are very switched on and have discernment and can be like, I can smell BS from this, some of the ladies will be like, yeah, date him. I'm doing this service.
The girls
this is my
are
business.
Desperate.
Yeah, and pay me. There is one matchmaker that I have seen on TikTok who, like, she reads out the profiles of the people that get in contact with her and or that she's like, that's part of her clientele. And she would be like, look, this is what they wanted. This is who they are. There is no way I'm going to put them forward to any of my clients or any of my clientele because of X, Y, and Z. Like, she really snuffs them out. Or she'll be like small things of like, oh, this is how I knew this was kind of a red flag profile. Or it's how I knew this was a green flag profile. Or even for some of the women of like, maybe your expectations and the, reality is not matching because of X, Y, and Z about your personality or what you want or what you're looking for or who you've dated in the past. And maybe you need to do the work before. So I do respect that. And I have listened to her videos and been like, you know what? I'm not saying if I ever want to do a matchmaker, maybe she'll be someone I would be intrigued for because she has the same level of strictness that I do.
Yeah.
And you kind of want, if you're going to pick a matchmaker or pick someone that's going to vouch for someone, you kind of want to trust them.
No, 100%. You're right. You do want to trust them. I think, but I also think, is it good to get someone who's exactly like you? Because you're...
It's true.
You want someone who's going to come about this in a different way to you, so you can potentially meet people that you're not already meeting. Like, I honestly don't know because I also agree with you. I don't want someone who's going to be very lax in their rubric, and bring me someone who's a felon.
True,
because they didn't double check and they went off vibes and like, oh yeah, but you guys defo vibe. It's like, yeah, we vibe because he's a criminal and he lies.
Okay. I was like, what does it say about you?
I'm also a criminal. Why would you bring me a criminal? No, but you know what I mean? Like, he's a con man. Of course, he vibes with everyone. That's why he vibed with you, idiot. You also go for it.
I also think like for them, we cannot forget matchmaking is still a business. Pay me money. Like that matchmaker that only like caters to like Black and brown women. And I can't remember what his name is. Like a gay guy who like tells like Black women like, this is how you get white men. Yeah. Like his matchmaking service is in the thousands if you want to work with him. And I don't know what his success rate is. I have not heard a lot of people going, see that guy? Here's my husband. Like I've not seen a lot of the testimonials. Or are people ashamed of doing it? I don't know. But like, is matchmaking just a modern day, arranged marriage?
Yeah, there's definitely that. I think also, like, I just had a thought, it's like probably very problematic, but like, if I really wanted a white husband, I wouldn't need a matchmaker to do that.
I would just go outside with my natural hair. So sorry.
Hello, if I wanted a white husband, I could do it, please. That's not the problem. Obviously, I'm being facetious because obviously...
Or a bad wig, sorry, that was the other one.
Or a bad wig. But I'm being facetious because obviously those people are looking for a white man of quality, should we say. But if we really badly want X, and the X... That's the thing, this is my thing about dating. If you have like one prerequisite, you can find someone. Like if you just want a white man, period, and that's the end of the sentence, you can get it. The problem, of course, comes where your list is growing. You require more things from your partner than just he's white.
Yeah.
he had money, or
I mean,
because he had money.
This sounds like your prerequisites.
What? Why has money? I'll take. We can give or take the white, but definitely has money. The money is necessary for sure. I don't want to suffer in this life.
It's so true. I was watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, and Phaedra was throwing shade. Well, it wasn't shade, but she was in a confessional saying that Portia likes men, like Nigerian men with money. And someone was like, oh, Phaedra, why are you throwing shade at Portia? She was like, I don't think that's shade. My friend likes rich men. Like, she doesn't like broke people. So like, that's not shade. That's the truth.
Like cheap thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not shade. I'm actually just saying what she likes. Yes, I think you said it in a bit of a kiki kind of way, but that ain't shade.
Yeah,
and that's the worst thing. Like, there's worse things to be called than I don't do broke.
Yeah, 100%. And I just feel like, you know, there are lots of things that can be overcome. Like, I might not find you attractive off the bat, but maybe I can grow to like you. I'm not going to grow to enjoy being poor. That's not something I'm going to grow to enjoy. So let's be practical. And also, I thought, like we said this on the podcast before, as a person with a creative job, I know that I'm not going to be the one bringing in the big bucks. If we want our kids to have a generational wealth, one of us actually has to go out there and do the work. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, one of us actually has to put on a suit in the morning and go and sit in the office and yap, and bring the money, bring back the bacon so we can eat. And then he also has to cook and he also has to cook.
Why? This poor man.
But you know what? He's where he wants to be.
No.
He's where he wants to be. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
When you see him, you're like, oh, I can't believe your wife make you cook clean. And then you come and you work. And he's like, yeah. Don't you worry about him, because this is exactly where he wants to be. He wants to cook. He wants to clean.
Wow.
For me.
Wow. I just can't wait to meet him. I just can't wait.
When he's like a broke.
No, he'll be rich, but I feel like he'll be just so busy, like cooking and cleaning. We would never have to.
No, you guys won't have to.
It'll be like, hey,
it'll be a flyby. Him coming in. Hi everyone.
Bye.
Really lovely to meet you. I've heard a lot about all of you. Marnie talks about you all the time. So like I've got like an idea of you. Like you must be Shoshanna. She said you was gonna look like that.
But your man can't be. He can't be shady too.
You must be blah blah. She said you were going to be gorgeous, talented. Said you're Shoshanna. It tracks. Again, I'm joking. I would never be mortified if my partner spoke to any of my friends like that. As we've talked about this podcast before, having met a partner of a friend who was very rude, I think, and probably the rudest partner I've ever met.
Yeah.
Would never in a million years. And do you know what's really interesting? I talked to the friend about it again recently, like as in we just brought it up in passing, and she was saying something like, "Oh, do you know what? I actually think I just like men who are blunt. Like I really like men who are blunt." And I was like, you actually, because every time we've talked about it, she's been like, "I can't believe he said that." I low-key think you like that he spoke to us like that, and that's scary as fuck. Because what do you mean I like men who are blunt when I'm telling you that this guy looked us dead in our eyes and said we're never going to find love because we work in the office?
That was crazy. That was
and you sat there.
That was still crazy.
And you just sat there. I was like, this is a very scary realization to have about your friend, because I cannot imagine being at a table and my man's yapping saying the most unhinged stuff, and I'm just like, baby, I love you. You're so funny, baby.
There are some people that are like, well, that's just how he is. He is what he is. That's what some of the girlies do.
He is what he is one thing. But I just want you to be aware of the fact that, are you co-signing this or not?
Yeah.
Because he is what that's just how he is you co-signing him.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's what you're on, I just need to know. I need to know if you're on co-signing that behaviour.
I think...
Because you will not be seeing me for the duration of the relationship. I'm not about to sit and let a man who I don't know talk crazy to me, because that's your man and I don't want to cause issues in your relationship. But at the same time, I'm going to have to school him, because who the fuck does he think he's talking to?
Is it a deal breaker if your man didn't get along with your friends?
In what capacity?
Flip the scenario you just mentioned.
If if you and I went out to dinner and for some reason it was you, me and my partner, right? Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe we went to a cinema.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that meal, you said something and he turned around to you and said, "Can I give you some advice?" Perhaps your manner is the issue. Maybe if you were like smiled more and you were like respectful to men, you would actually have a man. And then I just sat there and ate my dinner.
Yeah.
And then got up and left. And never said nothing to you. Not even a word of apology. Just got up and left with that man and held his hand. I would either expect you to send me a long ass message to be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Or it would never get there because I'd be like, I would
check him in the moment.
I actually just don't even think I would date someone that would be brave enough to do that, because if you would talk to her like that, surely you would talk to me like that.
That's how I usually feel. I mean, I've met. Actually, there's not been many scenarios like that. I'm definitely not checking me, but like seeing it maybe more in like TV or reality TV where you see like men checking other women, and I'm like, but the way he's speaking to those women, I'm assuming he speaks to you like that. And if you find it acceptable, that's good for you. But for me and my house, this is not, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I would just distance myself from that person. Not the friend, but the man.
Yeah. Wait, if he was your man?
No, if he
was a friend's man, you would distance yourself from the man.
Yeah, that I wouldn't have.
How can you be close to me and?
Yeah, but we can hang out with them.
Well, he's gonna be at the event that we're all going to.
Well, unless he comes to apologize, I don't have to have.
How are you going to communicate that though? Oh, wait, first of all, let me.
Yeah, sorry.
Would you communicate that to the friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think in that scenario, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get in men's business. I'm going to speak to my friend, especially if they're quiet.
No, if it was my man, please.
Yeah,
punch him. And
I mean,
square up to him. Does he think he's talking to you?
I mean, if you had told me like this isn't going well and he does that, then I'd be like, okay, you know what, well.
But no, if it's not going well, why on earth am I bringing him?
That's the thing. That's a bigger question. I think in that scenario, if you had not said anything, okay, I'll be like, okay, girl, that was kind of wild.
And then I'm like, and what was wild?
Huh? The way he spoke to me.
What did he say?
Okay, if he had spoken to you like that,
what did he say? I didn't hear
He said that basically, I'm single because I'm mean.
And do you feel like perhaps there could be truth in that?
Oh, so you think the same thing?
Because that's what I was going to say. For my man to feel confident to say that to you, truly we've sat at home and either I've said it to him or he said it and I've been like, you know what, babe, you actually say right. Like she could stand to be less mean. And that's why I'm not saying nothing now. Yeah. Because I know if I open my mouth, I go, hey babe, don't say that to her. But didn't you?
Yeah.
And now,
the trouble. No, I think, yeah, if that was a scenario, there's a couple of things like, it would make me question like, where has this come from? And unfortunately, the only person it could have come from is I'm him now. I've been observing you over the course of this meal, and I've noticed that like when the server came, he was a man. He said everyone said thank you apart from you. Like you just didn't even look up at him. You didn't. Sorry, I'm still speaking. And this is exactly what I mean. Bird? Who is this bird coming to try and check me?
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like I'm still talking, you're trying to talk over me. Like what you need to understand is in a relationship there is the submissive and there's the dominant, and like in a God-fearing household like ours, you must submit to the man. So when I'm at the table speaking, you shouldn't be speaking. Do you get that?
I don't even know who you are, so you can keep on talking.
But you know I'm a man. You can see that with your 2 eyes, or do those not work?
A man wouldn't speak to me like that. I expect that from a man.
Okay, so here we are again. Shoshanna, you have to work through immediately go to calling people gay whenever you're annoyed at them. You can't go straight to, and you're gay, and you're gay.
Did you can't always I didn't say anything. I literally clicked my fingers.
You know what?
No. But okay, let me take that back.
Yeah, you should. Because this is proving my point.
So the thing is, I've noticed a pattern that when men have to try and proclaim what they are, it shows an insecurity in who they are, their own manhood, basically. Yeah. And that's what I'm seeing now. And that's a pattern that maybe you haven't observed, but actually in the time that we've been here, I've observed as well.
That's really interesting. And it just makes me think about the people you've clearly met to this point, like perhaps your father, like unique men that you've met in your life.
Yourself.
your dad and your granddad.
The thing is, For someone that I don't know, you have a lot of mouth, and it really again shows me what kind of things do you do in that mouth, or what do you want in that mouth.
Think about my mouth a lot, and this is why I don't want to draw money in, but she did mention to me previously, you are quite a lustful woman. I think that might be also the issue. Because look at the way, I mean, we're talking as adults, we're talking about my mouth. What do you want to know what my mouth do? Why do you want to know what my mouth do?
Don't worry, Marnie has said.
Marnie has not said.
Marnie has.
Don't put me in it.
The thing is, Marnie has to say that you have to use your mouth or not, because there's not other things you can actually compensate.
Okay, now I'm going to cut in, guys, because Shoshana, I would like to speak to you outside.
Girl,
my husband. No, you be here telling him that I've been
girl, you should have checked him. You should have checked him before you opened his mouth. The so-called mouth that he's been using.
Money, it's okay.
Yeah.
I understand that you thought that you had a friend here to share your intimate issues, but she's using that. She's weaponizing that.
The funny thing is, like, I can leave, but you can't. So I'm going to see you there.
What a nightmare meal. What a nightmare meal.
But the thing is, I'm so sorry. This has probably happened to so many people. It's actually scary. But the thing is, there's two things. If I knew the husband not well, like,
actually, this is not a husband, by the way. This is a boyfriend.
Okay. Oh,
for you to get to husband level, you would have met. I would like to think you would have met a couple more times.
Exactly, and I think that I would hope that a husband wouldn't speak to me in that exactly like that. But I feel like if he had said something, I'm trying to think, maybe said something like, "Oh, from a male perspective, this is something," and I had a decent enough relationship. I think we talked on the pod that I don't need to have a lot of connections with my friends, husbands or partners. Of course, if they're there and my friend is there, we'll always communicate, and that's fine. But I think if I've known you for some time and there is a level of trust because I trust my friend and by proxy I trust you, I won't think I'll be that turned off by it unless it was said in a way that was kind of like the way that the example was.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Okay. The different scenario is we're having girls chat.
Okay.
In walks Ted.
Yes.
Here's Teddy. Yeah. He's here. I say, Teddy, okay, how would you feel about this? You and I having girl chat. My partner comes in, I'm like, I'll ask him. And I then proceed to tell him whatever thing you've told me without checking whether or not this is something you want to share with him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're a guy. We're trying to figure out what happened on this day. Like, they hit it off, and then and then he messaged her. She's responded. Now she's not heard back from him. Do you think she should change? What do you think we should do? How would you feel in that scenario where I'm essentially bringing into what is a safe space because we've known each other for a long time, this unknown entity, and let's even say he's not rude at all in that moment, but now this person who you don't know is giving you advice or in any way trying to weigh into a situation. And I feel like that's where there is actually room for those kind of miscommunications and hiccups between people, because he doesn't know the situation.
Yeah.
And you don't know the way that he speaks that well. He might not even be trying to offend you, but the way that he speaks might give...
Yeah.
That felt very full or very unfamiliar for someone I don't know, because that's how he talks. And because I'm the one who's invited him in, he feels comfortable to speak like that. Because in his head, he's not speaking to you almost. He's speaking
to you, but about me. That's a really hard one, because actually, depending on what we're talking about, I would not feel comfortable. I mean, you already know I'm quite... I have rules about the WhatsApp groups. Listen to a previous
You does have rules about the WhatsApp groups.
Like, I like to keep the certain things to certain people, places, etc. No, I think it depends on the topic. If it was something that was like...
Shoshana's going through the menopause. Do you still think she's attractive? Do you think men still find her attractive?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that would be crazy.
Listen, he knows loads of men.
No. I think if it was like something that was like trivial, like, oh, what? I feel like I've had a similar scenario, but it's like super trivial. Like, oh, when was the last solar eclipse? Because it's very recent, the panel is recorded.
That doesn't count at all.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know when the solar eclipse was?
Yeah.
It was on Friday. Yeah. Oh my God, why did you even invite him into the conversation?
No, I would never, So that's like, oh, it's completely fine. And I've definitely had those scenarios before, and it's felt like completely chill. And again, decent enough. I think it's not even just relationship, it's just tenure. Like, I've known this person for a long enough time. There is a trust that,
But I've known him for 6 months.
No.
Huh?
But no. Why is he there?
Oh, he lives here.
Oh, for 6 months.
We're in love.
I love that for you, but maybe we have dinner outside.
No,
Like,
he's cooked.
that was nice of him.
Yeah.
I don't.
And he's going to be here for the meal.
No.
Why? He lives
No,
here.
he can go upstairs.
There is no upstairs.
He can go to the other room.
He can't eat in the bedroom. That's where we sleep.
Well, he has food and then he's like...
He's literally in the next room. He can hear this. Let's not be rude. He's cooked. He's cooked.
No, okay, you see, this is getting real male-centered for me.
You are making this about you.
No, I think, you know what, I think it is very much, depending on the topic, depending on, like, the level...
So can he come to the dinner that he cooked, yes or no?
Of course he can, but, like, we're going to keep everything light, especially if you only know him for 6 months. Why am I going to tell him about my deepest, darkest secrets?
Because he's really smart.
No.
And he's really funny. Babe, tell her that.
And also, yeah.
Hold on. It's a really funny story. You're going to want to hear it. Tell her about that time when we were in Tenerife. It's like that time.
Oh my God,
you're for 6 months.
I'm sorry, like, I will have a lot of I have a lot of questions for the friend of like, is this the kind of behavior? And I'm gonna assume that the friend had beta switch as soon as the guy came into the picture.
What is this? What kind of behavior?
Like
you can ask me in front of me. We have no secrets.
Every second sentence is like Ted and I. But we did this.
We don't have any secrets between us now. We live together, so like we're a unit. You can any question you have for me, you can ask in front of.
Quick question, because I've heard this on other podcasts, but also like other conversations. If there was something like you want to tell me in confidence, and you like, actually, I will do the flip question as well. You told me this in confidence, and you said, "Oh, don't tell anyone."
Yeah.
Would you expect me to tell my partner? Or
probably.
Would you?
Don't you tell your sister everything?
No.
Huh? I told my sister everything.
No, I mean, I tell her a lot of things. But if someone said don't tell anyone, I wouldn't. For the most part, I wouldn't.
Let me be honest. Probably no. Unless it was something that was like, do you know when you say don't tell anyone? It's like, who would I tell that would care about this?
Yeah.
In those instances, I'm like, I'm probably gonna. By the way, I'm not going to go out of my way to tell them.
Yeah.
If somehow it comes up in conversation, but like, I think that's usually the thing. If someone told you something not to tell someone, it's not going to come, it probably won't come up in conversation with someone else, unless they're like, did so-and-so tell you something not to tell me? So it's actually not that hard to not tell. But I guess if you told me a juicy piece of information.
Like, okay.
That like blew my mind.
And don't tell anyone.
I said, don't tell anyone. And I couldn't, and it had something to do, and the reason why you said don't tell anyone was because it was about like people that we knew. Yeah. So I was like, I can't tell any of those people I know. And Bay is not involved. I'm going to go home and be like, I need to talk to someone about this. Shoshanna just told me that she is a Russian spy. She's been a Russian spy since we met her at school. Do you understand? This woman is 58. I think she's been pretending to be a woman in her, a teenager when she was 22. She was 22 years old, pretending to be a 12-year-old in our school. She speaks fluent Russian. She did it in front of me today.
My thing, okay, if that was it,
I have to tell him.
I think you kind of know the kind of friends that you would tell them, but you know it's going to put a pillow talk. I just wouldn't tell them.
So you're not going to tell me you're a spy? That's crazy.
No, you feel like.
But why don't you want Bay to know? He don't know no one.
But I don't. Again, I want it in a small circle.
The spy thing. This
is a top secret. Right. Actually, if you reveal it, it's going to unlock the secret codes that could potentially.
He's also a spy.
Exactly.
That's one that I would take more seriously. Yeah. It's like that's like a security level.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret. Maybe it was like,
if it was like trivial,
I'm talking to a boy that we used to know at school.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is going to care about that? Sorry. I mean, I might even say to you in that moment, just so you know, I'm going to tell my husband, because that was a stupid thing to tell me to not tell anyone. But also, no one cares that you're talking to Jamal.
On the film. You can keep that everywhere. You can do whatever you want with that. But my thing is, would you then expect that on the flip side? So you tell me something and you would expect me to then tell Bay, pillow talk.
Do you know what? I would trust that you'd use your discernment.
Okay.
If you felt to tell your partner and then next time we spoke, you suddenly had advice you didn't have the first time, I'll be like, did Ted tell you that? You've gone away, you sat with Ted.
My dear Ted.
You come back and you're like, do you know what? One thing I would say you should consider. That's very measured of you, Shoshanna.
But
Where did
actually,
you get that from?
I've just slept in it, and I feel like I get my best.
And who else do you sleep with?
No, I slept in it, and as I was on the loo,
and he was in the shower. You was on the loo, and he was in the shower. You still yapping about it.
I get my best ideas on the loo and in bed, and
so I came to this all by myself. I promise. And then when I come to your house, he's like, "Oh, sorry about that thing."
No, I think it's hard. I remember listening to like a pod. I think it was like the Receipts, and Audrey said that she probably would tell Nick, her husband, because it just ends up being pillow talk and stuff like that. And I do think it just naturally happens. I just think, depending on what the thing is, if you know the person's most likely to tell their husband, you just don't tell them.
Yeah. It's very interesting because I feel like my family are really, really bad at stuff like that. Like you'll be like, everything I ever told my nan, everybody knew, and vice versa. So like,
my mum's bad as well, like that as well.
But then deliver this like it was their news. This wasn't yours to share. Hello, and now I'm annoyed at you. Now I don't want to tell you stuff, and then you're going to be obsessed with me like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Obviously, that was a violation. So I'm not saying like, oh, and that's okay, and that's what you should do at all.
Yeah.
But I think it really depends on whether this thing's going to play a part in the way that I function. Like, if say like you told me something, this top secret thing that happens to be about another friend, my partner knows all of us, and he's noticing I'm now moving differently with that other friend. Yeah. Am I not going to have to tell him? Or am I going to lie to him and be like, no, it's unrelated. I just don't fuck with X anymore because turns out they're a murderer.
I mean, I think it depends on if the person told you not to say anything. I think it's like, don't tell anyone, including.
Yeah, if you say including, then I'm like, okay, this must be serious.
Yeah, don't. I'm with child. Don't.
Oh, okay, that stuff's different.
Yeah, that's actually, that's actually, you know what? I think that's actually very key. That's a great example, actually. Like, oh, I'm with child, but I'm not telling anyone.
Yeah, it's really, really early.
I don't. Yeah. I think even when our friend told that she was expecting early, I don't think I told anyone until like she started posting about it, and then my sister was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah,
that's fair." So, friend of mine told me that she was pregnant before.
Yeah,
she was telling people.
Yeah,
but because I asked, like, again, not a still trap at all. I said, "How are you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm pregnant.
Oh, okay,
I'm not telling anyone." But I just couldn't answer the question without telling you. And I was like, that's really cool and sweet. And I'm so excited for you. But you also could have, you could have found something.
Now you put me in a position where I literally can't say anything.
No, I think it's because I asked her how work was. And I guess in order to explain what was happening at work, she had to explain that she'd been missing lots of days of work because she was sick. Yeah. And then she probably was assuming I would then be like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Yeah. And then she was like, no, you'll panic. So I'm just going to tell you it's because I've been sick. It's because I'm pregnant. Yeah. But she was pregnant when I'd seen her, and she never said anything.
Yeah.
So it is.
I don't know. You have to use your discernment. Yeah. There's some things that you can share, and some things that maybe not the right time to share.
Yeah, and I didn't share that with anyone. And I probably still wouldn't. Because all the people that we would even know in common, I don't speak to you like that. True. It's not my business to share.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the case. I mean, there's certain things I'm like, it's not. I'm not the mouthpiece for this, and I actually don't want to be. And like, if the person wants to say something, they'll say it. But I've learned with my mum, what I'll do is, because there's too many times where I've told my mum something and my brother will be like, yeah, I knew already. And my sister will be like, yeah, I knew already. So now my thing is tell everyone at the same time, or we use the group chat, the WhatsApp group chat.
The group chat that Babe's not allowed to join. So he'll be the last person to know.
No, he'll be part of the conversation. I'll put it in the group chat so everyone knows the same information at the exact same time. Or if I'm in the same room with everyone, they all get the same news at the same time. Because also, certain people feel a certain type of way if one person gets the news first. Oh, you already told so-and-so. Interesting. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone finds out. WhatsApp group. This is, again, WhatsApp group unites.
I think you've raised a really good point, and I just think that now maybe I'll start doing tests. I'll start doing little social experiments where I share information with certain people, and I wait and see how quickly it takes to
Rebecca
get.
Vardy.
I'm going to Colleen.
Oh yeah, it's a Colleen.
Yeah, the shit out of everyone I don't know.
I'm so done.
I wouldn't. I don't. I don't think I don't even think I've really ever been in a situation where I've had something where I've been like, don't tell anyone this.
Yeah.
I've definitely had someone tell me something where I'm like, that's crazy.
If there's things I've heard,
I'm gonna tell people.
No, I think it's the discernment part, because sometimes you hear things like, maybe don't say anything. Or there was one time, maybe I didn't say, well, no one told me, but I like suspected like my manager was pregnant. But I suspected, but I would never told anyone that I even suspected until he announced that his wife was pregnant. And I was like, oh, my manager's a man.
Yeah, I was like, how did you suspect that he was pregnant?
No, because he was like missing days. I was like, there's two.
Why is he missing days? He's not pregnant.
For the appointments. Oh. So I was like, there's two theories. One, he's leaving. Two, he's
going to interviews.
Yeah,
he's going to scans.
Oh, he's going to scans. One of the two. And because it's like very specific days, like Mondays, like Monday at a specific time.
How many scans do you need to have?
So it was specific times on like a Monday, and then also because his diary is so packed and I have a lot of meetings with him, I have his calendar up at the same time as my calendar. So I'm like, why are you always out at this certain time? And this ain't interviews. And I'm assuming, I'm now making an assumption, but I never shared that. And I thank God I didn't until we announced. And I was like, oh.
My boss was visibly pregnant.
Okay, yeah.
And no one was saying anything. So I was like, oh, maybe I missed the day where she told everyone. So remember I like said to one of my colleagues, I was like, oh, well, Barbara's pregnant. And he was like, no, she's not. I was like, are you blind? And he was like, she had not said that she's pregnant. And I was like, you have eyes,
come on. The same one woman did the same thing at my old workplace. It
was so weird. And then like, I want to say maybe 2 weeks after this, she was like, well, as you guys know, I will be going on maternity leave soon. And I was like,
what?
Then the guys who had been like, she's not pregnant, like looked at me and I was like, I'm not like a soothsayer. I literally just have eyes.
Yeah.
She was visibly
exactly
pregnant. She's about to go on maternity leave.
Yeah, come on.
So that should tell you how far along she is. It's not like a week into the team.
No, like she's big. Like there was definitely the woman from my old workplace, like she was absolutely pregnant. And it was obvious. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, I think a lot of women experience it. It's always in the face as well. Like,
it's in the face. Also, your wardrobe changes.
Yeah, your wardrobe changes. She was wearing these clothes. And then one time I turned around and I saw from the side, I was like, but girl, be for real. And then eventually we're all sitting there having drinks and she's like, oh, I'll have like a non-alcoholic.
Just water for me.
And everyone's like, okay.
For me,
and we're all just a bunch of women. We're all just like, and she's like, yeah. And I think, oh my gosh, yes, finally.
I actually do think there's something.
It was quite cute, I'll be honest.
Quite baller about just never saying it.
Yeah.
Like, what if I just go the whole 9 months? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Then you'll be dipped for like an extra year.
Yeah.
Someone's like, yeah, so-and-so is gone. And like, gone.
She's died.
No, so like at work, someone has been off for like a month.
Yeah.
And then the month was coming to an end. Because I was picking up one of their projects. So the month was coming to an end, so I was like, can't wait to hand this project back.
Mm-hmm.
That Monday, they were like, yeah, she's going back out for another month, but she's fine. I was like, okay, that's my theory. I'll come back later and confirm.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of our other friend who was off for a month.
And another one of my friends as well has had really bad morning sickness and like couldn't go into the office.
Exactly. So after that, because he said, oh, she's fine. And of course you can reach out. And I was like, okay. So it's not like probably where my mind initially went. I think it was like the third week I thought, actually, she's been off for a month. I think she may be. We'll see. I
really
hope.
Bad food poisoning.
Yeah, like for 2 months.
Tapeworm, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I mean, of course, I hope that everything's fine. But that's my suspicion. I'll confirm it when we...
Boob job. I'm actually getting a boob job soon. I got a face lift and I can't wait for the bruises to heal.
I'm so done. But yeah, those... I think that will be an example of like, yeah, please keep that one to yourself.
Would I tell Bae? Probably not, because I don't think he'd give a heck.
Probably not. And then but that's the thing. On the flip side, because again, men don't talk, so they will never keep a secret because they don't answer enough questions to keep the secret anyway. But if finally gets announced that so and so is pregnant, and you didn't tell Bae, would Bae and Bae was annoyed, would
why on earth would he be annoyed unless she's the fun of that baby? Well, there's a lot of emotions for baby that's not yours.
Yeah.
Hello?
No, I mean, it's so interesting that dynamic with a partner. And I know we were talking about the diaspora dating would you ever do it?
Diaspora dating.
The TikTok.
No, because I know that those Ghanaian men have even more expectations of what their wife's going to be. They're not going to cook and clean like I require of them. And I'm not about to sit here and argue with someone's son, first of all, about roles in the house. I'm watching 90 Day Fiancé because it's on HBO. The most recent season's on HBO Max. And I'd seen clips on TikTok. So it's like, now I'm actually getting to see myself. And there's this woman, a woman who said that God had spoken to her, said that her husband was in Nigeria. So she's in this long distance relationship with this Nigerian man. She goes to Nigeria now, and in the morning, she says, hey, to his mom and dad. He's like, that's not how you greet here. You know, you have to call them
prostrate.
She gets annoyed. She's like, why do I have to do that? I don't have to do that. I said hello to them. And he's like, listen, you're in Nigeria, you're a married man. And I was like, this is the thing. I'm watching this and I don't have any sympathy for this woman because that's the culture.
Exactly. Where's she from? US?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
she's like a southern...
That's what I need to know.
Woman.
That's what it is.
And there's lots of other things where she's like, you know, he's telling her to behave, like, because she's like, they're walking down the street, she like pulls her hand away from him in front of people, and he's like, you better behave and stuff. She's like, do not talk to me like that. Don't come near me. Don't touch me like that. It's just not like that here. That is not. I've never ever been in Ghana and seen anyone having a domestic in the street with that. You don't do stuff like that.
Just not. It's very unfortunately. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you see the world. It's very submissive, like the man's walking in front of the wife and the wife's holding the kids.
Yeah, it's patriarchal. It's patriarchal. And and I think there's something very dense about thinking you're going to marry someone who belongs to a completely different culture and they're going to slot right into the way that you do things. Because there's a reason why you went after him and not another American man.
True.
Because you want to be able to pull stunts you're not able to pull here.
Yeah.
But he also wants to be able to pull stunts that he's not able to pull there. And then somewhere you've got to meet in the middle because can you imagine like being so used to a way of life and then being transplanted somewhere else and being told, oh yeah, forget all that stuff. You know how you thought your wife was going to cook and clean? She doesn't do that now. You know how you thought your wife was going to be submissive to you? She doesn't do that now. You know how you thought that you was going to be the head of the household? That's not the case. Like, that would be just such a mind fuck that it's like, you would be better off meeting a man who already...
Yeah, who does, like, who aligns.
Isn't that... Exactly.
And I think, I mean, we talk about it definitely off the pod where I've seen growing up, there is a difference between being with a Black British man, being with a Black Nigerian, and being with a man who's Nigerian, who was born there and raised there. They're three different men, three different perspectives on life, three different cultures.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and you have to take that into consideration whether you want to date within any of those spheres, because culture, even if you're the same race, even if you were born in the same country, even the kind of parents you have in the household, or those figures, like that impacts the way you see the world. Like even the idea of having like a parent that was born in the UK versus a parent that was born in Nigeria, different view.
Completely different.
Yeah, very, very different.
Being second gen, being first
gen. Like, it's just, it differs. And I think, and I see why some people are very specific. Like, I don't want someone who is quote unquote off the boat because it's very different in terms of culture. I see why some people are very specific about like the type of people they date. So yeah, I think it's very interesting that people are going on TikTok and offering men they've met once and saying this is a good man. He's a good man, Savannah.
Yeah.
But we know what happened there.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, obviously we're in a very interesting time where I think relationships are kind of all falling apart.
Yeah.
Like, as in the way that we constructed relationships at this point is just like struggling with the pace of society now and our roles, our gender roles and our technology. And I think the series that we're going to talk about today actually perfectly encapsulates like what the effect of all of the other moving parts of society has on a relationship that would make it quite a difficult thing to maintain, that people are trying to find all of these other ways to kind of meet that. It's like, what if I get you a male older husband?
Yeah.
If I get you a male older husband, will that help you? Will that solve the problem that you have? Because you're a woman of a certain age, time's ticking. You need to get serious.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, yes.
How dare you?
Anyway, should we get to the review of the week? Yeah, we don't have any pop culture this week.
No.
So we're going to get straight to review.
Yeah.
And this is a review requested by a listener, by the way.
Ooh.
Our listener who left us to comment about Blue Therapy.
Oh my gosh. Very,
had mentioned,
yeah,
had suggested that we watch DTF St. Louis, and we are very late to the game because this actually aired in like April, I'm going to say, before that.
Yeah.
But we're here now.
Thank you so much.
I hope you're still listening.
Yeah, thank you so much for the recommendation.
So, yes, this week we're going to be talking about DTF St. Louis, which stars Jason Bateman, David Harbour, Linda Cardellini, Joy Sunday, who is in Wednesday, by the way, playing a teenager. So seeing her pop up in this, the female detective. She's in Wednesday.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
She's
stunning.
So pretty.
Oh.
As soon as she walked in, I was like,
oh my gosh! I remember thinking like, yeah, this is a stunning woman.
She's absolutely gorgeous. I want to see her in more things.
Yeah. She was very good in it. Very
great in it.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember the name of the other detective.
His name was Donahue Homer. That was his character's name.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what the actor's name is. He's well known though. I recognise his face. And Peter Sarsgaard, who plays the guy that Floyd accidentally meets off DTF and kisses in the car park.
Oh yeah. Wait, he's related to this?
Yeah, he's Sarsgaard. Of the Sarsgaards.
Oh. I asked for DTF St. Louis cast and Pedro Pascal is it.
Interesting. So, in my research, DTF St. Louis started off, the series started off as an adaptation of a New Yorker article that was called My Dentist's Murder Trial, which was based on a true story about a dentist who had been accused of murdering someone, and the plot behind it, he ended up being acquitted of the murder charge, but he was found guilty of fraud and impersonating someone, I think, because he had cooked up a plot with the victim's wife, who he was having an affair with. It was set to star Pedro Pascal, and Stephen Conrad, who adapted it, was adapting it. So it was going to be Pedro Pascal and David Harbour.
Interesting.
Time passes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they either don't get rights to the article, they decide to move away from the article and sort of just use it as a springboard.
Yeah.
The project turns into DTF St. Louis. They lose Pedro Pascal. It becomes David Harbour and Jason Bateman.
I think that's the right choice.
Yeah, because I guess Pedro Pascal would be playing Jason Bateman's character.
Yeah, Clark.
Unless in that original pairing, David Harbour was Clark, Pedro Pascal was... But I can't imagine him.
I feel like you...
Yeah.
Actually,
Handsome weatherman.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Stuck in a loveless marriage. Well, it's weird. His life is actually fine. He blows his life up himself.
But do we know enough about his life?
Well, we don't know anything about his wife.
That was the one thing I was like, I don't know enough about this woman. And the only time you know it is that you phone her with like, oh, sorry, I've not made a mistake. I'm sorry that my life, have been arrested for this murder, but that's the only time really we get to see her. Yeah,
I agree. I think it got to episode 5 or 6 where I was like, I'm feeling, and I think I had this feeling as well because Linda Cardellini's character's growth kind of gets stuck, maybe by episode 4 or 5. But by the time you get to 4 or 5, I was thinking Clark, who is Jason Bateman's character, and I'll explain everyone really quickly after this, but Clark's drawn into this couple in such a way that he's spending every waking minute with them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't his wife have something to say? Wouldn't there be some kind of blowback on the other side? And we don't get to see any of that. In fact,
they have children.
Wife sees... He did.
Oh, we didn't.
We did see them.
Oh, yeah, but just, again, we were so wrapped up in Floyd's world. Yeah, but, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Before we get into our thoughts, because we obviously have many.
Yeah.
So DTF St. Louis is a, how would you call comedy?
They call it a dark comedy.
Domestic noir, someone called it as well.
Yeah.
About a man named Floyd who is discovered deceased in a community swimming pool. As initially the police officer on the detective who comes into town, who is called Donahue Homer.
Great name.
So
His name is Donahue. I can't say his name. Donahue Homer.
Yeah. He comes in and he's like, this is a simple case of this man has come to the community pool for a hookup and died of a heart attack. Case closed.
Because of course, when you find him dead, you find him with a
porno mag.
But then Jodie flags that it's not porno. That's interesting.
Yeah, what Jodie flags is that like this is a very, very old spread. Yeah. Porno magazines don't exist in this format anymore, and they definitely don't look like this. So why would someone bring an old porno mag to a community swimming pool for a hookup and then scratch out the face of the person in the porno mag? Exactly. So they start looking at people in Floyd's life, and the two closest people to Floyd are his wife, Carol, and his best friend, Clark Forrest, who is the local weatherman. Yeah. And Clark and Floyd's relationship starts because Floyd is a ASL, because it's not BSL because it's American Sign Language, an ASL interpreter who interprets the news alongside Clark. And after Storm, he like saves Clark's life, and they become like best friends. And Clark suggests to Floyd to join app called DTF St, which is apparently an app for people that want people and couples who want to hook up, kind of like Ashley Madison before Ashley Madison was taken down for the scandal.
Exactly.
But so then the detectives are like, Homer is like, clearly what's happened here is he went on the app. He's having an affair. The wife of whoever he's had an affair with has found out, come and killed him at the swimming pool. They then learn that actually the affair that has been taking place is between Clark and Carol, Floyd's wife. Yeah. So they're like, right, nailed it. It's going to be that Floyd found out about the affair and they've decided to kill Floyd. And they bring Clark in, they arrest him on air, bring him into the police station, and they're like, we've got you banged to rights. You was cheating on your best friend with his wife and you killed him. And Clark's like, I loved him. I did not kill him. And the truth very slowly and intricately begins to unravel. And it's a very layered story. Yeah. It was very complicated. There was definitely a point where I had to rewind because I was like, I did listen to this scene, but I'm more confused now than I was before. And I guess that is by virtue of the way that the narrative is sort of hopping back and forward. Yeah. Which I actually enjoyed because it meant that because I was worried when at the halfway point of the first episode, David Harbour is dead. I was like, so no more David Harbour? What the heck?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what, are we revealing something? And then I think I had a bit of a bait and switch or whatever they call it, where initially I thought this was a comedy. And it kept on being described as a dark comedy. And then you see at the end that David Harbour's character is dead. And there's police.
It's not the end, it's in the middle.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's the middle. Oh, yeah. That was my...
It's in the middle of the episode.
It's the middle, because I've got a point I was going to mention about pace, but it's the middle, yeah. We found out he's dead, and when they first reveal him just, like, passed out, I thought he was passed out. And I was like, okay, well, the night, DTF, he really had a fun time with the app, with someone he met in the app, and then it kind of zooms out, and then you see that the police is coming in, and I was like, oh, this has changed. This is not a dark comedy. This is a police thriller.
It's a mystery.
Yeah. And this is not what I thought it was going to be. And I again, when we talked about watching this, and again, amazing thanks to our viewer, our listener, viewer.
We don't have a
not viewer, sorry, our listener who recommended this. I was like, I love Jason Bateman. I've only really watched him in comedy, so my anticipation was, and I know he's done drama, but I was expecting this to be like comedy, but dark, because you could tell where it was going. It was like dark with the kind of swinging thing.
Have you not ever seen Ozark?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I watched like a couple of episodes of Ozark. But he's an amazing actor. And yeah, that was that was a real drama, yeah. But But I didn't put two and two together.
But you were just laughing the whole time.
No,
so it was just like,
I was thinking Arrested Development, but I was like, he's just an older Arrested Development, in a sense.
You think Ozark is an older Arrested DTF St. Louis?
No. My initial thought of just seeing Jason Bateman in a role is older Arrested Development, because the last thing I properly watched and enjoyed of Jason Bateman was Arrested Development. And very different show, very different time. So anyway, all that to say, the genre shifted very quickly in episode 1. And I still got the comedic elements throughout parts of the show, because there were just some, is it light or just like dark, twisted
some properly
moments?
funny sequences.
Yeah, exactly.
They're definitely going for the laughs.
Yeah, exactly. Again, against this backdrop of a murder mystery.
Yeah.
And a police case. But that was the biggest shock. The other shock was, by the time episode 1 finished and it was like revolving to like episode 2 on HBO Max, I was like, I thought it would be going to episode 3. Like, I literally was like, I felt like it was 2 episodes in one.
I think because of the break, because of the reveal midway through the episode of the body, which is what you would usually end on.
Yeah.
It did the episode sort of restarted in a sense, because now we're introduced to these 2 new characters and then we're starting from scratch with them. So it kind of felt like the first half of the episode was like a prologue. Yeah. Really. Yeah. And we could have lost that stuff, I think, and started from the body. But I'm having watched the series as a whole, and I think I read an interview from David Harbour about the series, which has been nominated for 13 Emmys, by the way.
I was thinking like, this is definitely a contender. Yeah. This is a big contender.
They definitely wanted to explore the themes of the show. Like that was the focus, and the mystery was less so. Like the mystery was of engine into exploring manhood and friendship and middle-aged and like that loneliness and that sense of the midlife crisis of like, who am I now? Like, is this who I thought I was going to be? And so I wonder if that's why they put that prologue in. They kept that prologue in, because that's how you know this is going to be a character-led show, in that we're following these 2 guys initially. And I think if you start with the body, then your brain would just be like, this is a mystery. We're in a crime show, and that's what it is.
And you kind of need, and again, we'll touch on this a bit later, but you kind of need to show who the person is. Who are you rooting for? Like, when I saw that David Harbour's character died, I was like, oh, like I felt something, because actually you set the first 20 minutes up, set up who this guy is. Maybe you don't know him a lot, but you've humanized this person. So seeing him dead and realizing, oh no, he's not just had a wild night, is like, oh, this is now shifted the tone into serious. And I do agree with your point that, the police procedural aspect did take a backseat at times, because actually there were good chunks of many episodes where we are not in the investigation room at all. And actually, we don't need to. There was a couple of investigation rooms at the beginning that looked not so investigatory. It was like, we're outside, like we're in the foyer of the police like station. Like, it didn't feel as serious until it got more serious when it was like, death penalty. Okay, this is a case. But again, there were moments where we weren't in the world for that long, like before we were taken back into like their affair or, the relationship or, things like that. So I agree with that point, but also I agree that helped balance out the genre, and actually it doesn't feel like a liberty to say that it could be a dark comedy. Yeah, no. But I also I don't think I can even say it's a police. Well, I keep on saying police-ral. Police-ral? No.
Procedural.
Procedural, not police.
Yeah, I don't think
it's not procedural at all, no.
I don't think it has a procedural, because we're not with the police in that way. Like, we're with them, they're characters in this story, but we're not. We're seeing them do police work, but we're not. That's not because in a procedural, you don't get to know the victim in that way. No, it is about the investigation. It's about the court case, and I think even the police officers, as the series goes on, you can tell that they're more interested in finding out what happened to him in a sort of like philosophical way, rather than they are in like a law way, and like solving and closing this crime.
And I think that's how I felt when I was watching it. Like, there are, as a viewer, you're supposed to be thinking like, who killed Floyd? Like, who killed him? But there were times when I didn't even think about who killed it. It was like, why, and how has this relationship developed and evolved to the point now that we are but we know he's dead.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
But I also didn't have anyone as a suspect, which I know you're kind of, the way the episodes were built, is like you're kind of supposed to suspect each person. But by the time they create the suspicions about each person, it was kind of quelled relatively quickly. Because I was like, I knew it couldn't be Clark after like 2 or 3 episodes. And I was like, they're soulmates.
And he's not a killer. He doesn't give killer.
Yeah. And also Floyd doesn't give like, I'm not saying that you deserve to be killed, but like, I don't think I got the motive.
Yeah.
As strongly as like, oh, he was an evil man. And yeah, you know.
There's a point maybe I think in episode 5 where, maybe 4, maybe it's earlier, maybe it's 4, where Clark is like, I don't want to answer any more questions because I think if I keep telling the story, it's not going to look good for Floyd. And I was like, oh, here we go. Now they're going to like flip, this is the second bait and switch where we're going to find out all of the stuff we've learned about Floyd to now. Because he's set up as this perfect person, by the way. But I'm jumping around. I'll come back to the point I was going to make. But basically, you think you're going to hear that Floyd has done something terrible in that second half of the series. And actually, it's like, even that doesn't come to fruition. At that point, you're like, okay, this isn't a show about a guy who's murdered because he's done something to provoke someone. So if that's not what we're moving towards, we're either going to get a murder that's like really just sad, or it's going to be what it ends up being, which is that like it's either an accident or he kills himself. But let me go back. So like I mentioned, they sort of tell the story in a non-linear way, but I'm going to try my best to tell you about their relationship in a linear way.
Yeah.
So Floyd and Clark hit it off immediately. They have, I think Clark finds Floyd to be just like an incredibly pure person. Like he started doing sign language because he saw someone through a window signing to his friends, and he was like, that's what I ought to be doing. And he gives up this corporate job that he was supposed to be interviewing for, which if I was his wife, I also wouldn't find charming, which they kind of make us seem cruel for not finding it charming. And I think that goes back to what you sort of started to say earlier about the way they present women in this. And I do low-key agree with it, which is that like she's kind of presented as like a shrew or a bitch for not finding it charming that he doesn't want to go and earn money to support the family. But she has to take a second job. And then he has audacity to be like, I don't find you attractive because you took a second job. Okay.
Because you always wear your umpire suit all the time. That was comedic.
No, exactly. And I think those were the moments where I was like, okay, there is something really fun here.
Yeah.
Because when he starts telling, Clark basically suggests to him, yeah, let's go on this app where you can like have affairs. I don't get to see my wife because I have this crazy schedule.
Yeah.
We don't have sex anymore. We just look after our kids. I want to get that spark back. And then it's Floyd's time to share, and he goes, yeah, I have the ick essentially with my wife because she's an umpire. And he's like, what? He's like, she's an umpire. And he's like, I don't understand. He's like, she's an umpire, and sometimes she walks around the house in her umpire clothes, and when I see her in her umpire clothes, I don't find her sexy. And so every time now when we engage in sex, all I can think about is her in her umpire clothes. I don't find it sexy, and I can't get it up because of her umpire clothes. And also I have a weird dick. And I really like the ongoing gag of how he's about to tell them the story about how his dick, how he hurt his dick, but then they get distracted.
Yeah.
But so they decide they're going to sign up for DTF St. Louis. I think initially Clark wants him to sign up because Clark has already started having an affair with his wife. Okay, Clark meets Carol at a party that Floyd hosts at his home, and they immediately start flirting with each other. And I think Carol flirts with him because she's thinking, this dude has money and could take care of us if my husband's not going to take care of us.
True.
He's flirting with Carol because, again, he hasn't had sex for ages. She's pretty. She's showing the interest. Oh, she's hitting on him hard.
Yeah.
Okay, she's coming to the same jumbo juice as him, saying that she gets the same juice that he gets.
Yeah.
Putting a beer in between her legs, being like, oh yeah, can you grab that because my hands are full? Like, she could just give him one and pick up the other. Like, she's laying it on thick. He's picking it up thick. They end up fucking. What he doesn't realise is that Carol has told Floyd. So Floyd actually already knows that this affair is happening, but doesn't say anything because they're growing in their friendship. And a part of me did think, like, oh, is this going to be like a double blah, where we find out that Carol and Floyd have worked together to trick Clark into basically bankrolling their lives. Because Clark gets life insurance for Floyd. Yeah. Floyd owes like 40k in back taxes, and he makes no money as a sign language interpreter. Yeah. So the family have no money and they're constantly in debt. He cannot afford life insurance. He cannot afford to send his son to the school, the like private school that would be a better fit for him because he has borderline personality disorder and he's struggling to adjust to the school that he's in. And Clark, who loves Floyd and is having Carol whisper in his ear every time they get up, basically suggests that he will pay for the life insurance and pay for their son's tuition fees because he has the money. Yeah. And he could do that. And when Carol keeps saying to him, if you do that, like if you help, you cannot tell me that you've done that. I can never know. Yeah. That just has to be a thing between you and Floyd. And I'm like, is that because they're trying to cover their tracks? Because the two of them have sat down and said, I'm going to seduce him with my body. You're going to seduce him with your heart. He's going to be fully seduced. He's going to pay for us to get a new swimming pool. I'm so sorry. We're going to live it up. That's the cynic in me being like, what is the likelihood that you just meet two people and you fall for both of them and they have completely pure intentions? True. And they're married. Yeah, I mean, I think the initial bluff that they were trying to set up is that Carol and Clark were trying to plot to get Floyd out of the picture, yeah. Which would have been like very simple, wrap up the story. That would be done in 5 episodes. Oh, it wouldn't even be 5. It would 3. It would literally have been max. 3, maybe 2 hour longs. Yeah, sure. So 2 tight hour longs. Done. So that part was that's an episode of Criminal Minds. Like that's 148-minute episode of Criminal Minds. It's so true. Done. But I felt like, again, as you're going through the series, it's like, it doesn't make sense because Clark is, I mean, when you can see that scene where Carol's telling him, like, it needs to come from you, it can't come from me. And also, like, the fact that he is so, like, I can help you, I want to help you. It's like, oh no, he cares a lot, like, for both of them. Of course, we don't see that they're all connected at the end, but you really feel like, actually, maybe this is what he really does want to do. Yeah, I think he absolutely... I mean, the fact that we learned that, like, no, it wasn't a scam on either one of their sides, right? Carol was asking because you don't get if you don't ask. True. And Floyd never asked. It was offered to him. Yeah. And so it just so happened that he didn't know that this thing had been set up. And it's actually really interesting that he never comes to know that, because I'd be curious to know how he would have felt to find out that, like, those things that he had, quote unquote, provided were really the machinations of Carol the whole time. Yeah. I feel that probably would have sent him even better down a spiral, yeah. But anyway, their friendship grows. They go on a bunch of lovely dates together. Like, they go to a vineyard. They go on a bike ride to a vineyard. Yeah, and they drink wine. And they're like, oh, you should taste this. It's actually, one of the comments I made in my notebook was like, this bromance is becoming romantic and not in a way that's making me like, it's making me a little bit envious for that kind of, like, you know, when you make a new friend and you're just so excited to spend time with them. It really gives that, like, these are just two people who are just really, really excited to spend time together. And there was also a sense of, like, arrested development in the both of them. No pun intended. No, actually, genuinely no pun intended. But in the sense that, like when they're on the swing and they're talking, it's like there's something very boyish and immature, adolescent about the way that they talk to each other. Yeah. And I've been thinking a lot about the fact that, like, I think I've read a lot of articles or seen a lot of people talking about the fact that, like, our generation as millennials are kind of stuck in this permanent adolescence because of the economy. A lot of us can't move out. Yeah. And then because you can't move out, you're in your parents' house. And because you're in your parents' house, you have to abide by their rules. And so you're sort of stuck in this permanent adolescence. And then online as well, the way that we interact with each other, so we do act like kids. People are still wearing their Harry Potter jumpers and being excited for this. And it's like we are kind of stuck in this permanently 14. Yeah. And it was interesting to see that play out in amongst these two men who are, like, in their 50s. No, I don't know if they're in their 50s on the show. They're in their 50s in real life. Yeah. I think they're supposed to be in their like late 40s in the show.
Maybe. I mean, grown adults.
Yeah, grown. They are middle-aged.
Yeah.
You know, going on these little adventures with each other while their wives are at home taking care of their kids and doing the actual adult
Sure.
While the two of them are just going on this little adventure together. And it's like, I love that it's charming for you two, but it's only charming for you two. Like, Carol isn't happy in this series. Like, okay, yeah, she enjoys fucking Clark, and her and Clark have dream meetings where they go to this motel and just do each other's fantasies. But you never hear what her fantasies are.
No,
they're Clark's fantasies.
And they're always odd.
Yeah, one of them was preferred to sit on his face.
Yeah.
Which was actually not that strange.
No.
That, but she really was just sitting on his face.
Yeah, literally, like, taking the phone call, sitting on his face. I was like, shouldn't he be dead by now?
He can breathe through her butthole, it's fine.
There was one that I literally had to Google because I had no idea. Like, he was just...
But his legs were in the air.
Yeah, the Amazon. I was like, what the hell is the Amazon?
I was like, this can't possibly be good for either one of you.
No.
Like, the logistics of this.
But
the effort that would have to be done, because essentially his legs are up, but his dick is between his legs.
Okay, that's... And then she's
has to stand to, like...
And that's why she's...
lift. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it would be fun. No. Cool for him, I'm sure, because he's not having to do anything.
But like, for her, it's like just working. Because I thought he was getting pegged.
The stance looks like the stance of someone getting pegged.
Sorry, this is so graphic, but it was the one moment I was like, I don't know what's going on. And there's a really quick scene. Blink. It's not fully blink if you miss it because they do show you it. But you're like...
It's actually quite long because he asks her to talk. And then at one point she says something, he's like, oh no, that was too manly, don't do that. And then, like, so you're in there, like, I feel like, sorry, the cringiest thing in the world about a sex scene is like the talk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, call me a bitch. Like, I hate that shit. Like, I'm like, please, this is hard enough to watch. I feel so embarrassed for everyone in this room right now. And I know that you didn't even, I imagine it would be so funny to shoot.
Yeah.
Because you are obviously not really having sex and you have a rapport with that person.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is fucking crazy what we're doing. But as a viewer, I'm always just like, please let me out of here. Please let me out of here. Like, all of his fantasies, the robot one, which I think was supposed to be hers, maybe?
That he's a robot for her, or he's a...
Like, the robot was supposed to be her fantasy, I think.
Maybe.
Because she, like, gets him out the box and then...
Oh, yeah.
Turns him on and then... But, like, he's like when she's on top of him, he's like, beep, boop, or whatever. And I'm like, ah! People's commitment to those fantasy things, I really commend, because I know I would just be in there. If you're like, yeah, well, I'd love for you to just like beep, beep, beep. Yeah, just like my fantasy is actually like you just rap while I'm inside you. But yeah, I'm obviously not going to do that. I need you to understand.
I feel like you would try and then be like, no, it's not going to happen.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to be in the moment as well, and I can't do that. If I'm like, my name is Marnie, and can't you see? This is real honey. Everyone's funny. I'm really honey. You're really Johnny. I love your dick. It's really sick. Like, I don't want to be doing that.
I mean, you did that really well on the fly.
Some of those words weren't words. You're going to play that back? Some of those words?
He's not listening, though. He's preoccupied.
No, he's actually in the moment. He's like, babe, sorry. You tried to rhyme horny with tawny, and I don't know what that means. So can you just take this seriously? Because I feel like you're not taking it seriously.
How is he saying these things? He's busy.
He's not that busy. He can't be busy because this is what's turning him on, is you doing the rap.
Yeah, I mean, there's
get into it.
A lot of questions about all his fantasies involved. Like, what caused it? Not regular degular.
No. But I feel like I found that stuff really interesting too, because it feels like to me like, okay, you're middle-aged, you're like disappointed with life. Your brain starts going to places that are like, but we never did this. But we never did this. If we did this other random thing, maybe this will make us happy. So, of course, your fantasies start being, like, kind of bizarre and, like... It's not a fantasy to be like, oh, I want you to wear a nice bra. That's not a fantasy. Like, a fantasy has to be something that is fantastical that you wouldn't usually do. You're not going to fall into it casually in bed. It needs to be something that you set up.
I mean, we could tell there was proper setup with every key interaction with the two of them.
Yes. Yeah.
But
So at some point, Clark finds out, not at some point, yeah. Floyd lets Clark know that he knows about the affair. Yeah. He's not upset. He's glad that Carol is having a good time with Clark because he wants her to have a good time. Because they haven't been able to have sex because of the whole umpire thing.
Oh,
and also his dick is curved. Yeah. But mostly the umpire thing.
But he made sure he emphasizes the curve, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so he's like happy for them to continue the affair, but he suggests, well, he asks if he can watch, and they were both like, sure. So we cut to a scene where Clark and Carol are in bed. Floyd is in he's just in a cupboard. And whenever I think about like people watching people have sex, I imagine like you're in the room like on a chair or something. Yeah. Not just like lurking in a cupboard. Like you actually have to fully stand in a cupboard. This is crazy. That's your wife and your friend. You're telling me you can't be like, guys, can I just sit down? There's no space in here and it's dark and I'm scared.
No.
I need to wee. Can I come out, please?
No.
But then there's this moment, and I think this really characterizes like Floyd as a character. And I think what gives the show the charm that it has for me, which is that he sees this boy walking towards the swimming pool through the window. And he can tell that the boy is blind because he's got sunglasses on. And he's sort of walking in a way that would imply that he doesn't know he's walking towards the swimming pool. So he runs out of this sex situation downstairs and he signs to this boy because he's also mute. Like, he's not mute, he's also deaf. So he signs to the boy, like, where are you going? Where are you? And he basically helps him go to where he's going to go. And he's like, the boy's like, oh, I'm going to a school dance, but I didn't want my parents to take me in because no one else's parents taking them in. And he's like, I get it. You're going to have a great time. You're going to do a really good job. And I don't know why, but I like fully welled up watching that scene. Like, I just was like, I think I find it really touching when people are gentle. Yeah. And Floyd is very gentle.
Yeah.
I completely understand why Carol is not. Like, Carol is conflicted in the series, right? She loves him. She loves him. When he's dancing at the Todrick Hall concert, she's like, she's crying. She loves that man so much.
It was very weird because by that point we knew they were having the affair.
Yeah.
And then now we're seeing her like, oh my goodness, I'm so in love with him. And Floyd's looking at her like...
No, Clark's looking at her.
Sorry, Clark's looking at her like...
Bear in mind, Clark's wife was there. She's gone to get them water.
True, but
they're holding hands. They hate that woman.
Handplay.
They hate that.
Literally handplay.
Handplay round the corner from your wife is crazy.
And your husband, who's looking from above. Who, if he really wants to zoom in, he'd be able to see it.
But obviously he does already know at that point. So he probably wouldn't mind. But what it brings up, he has a youthful exuberance and a lust for life. And the only thing that seems to be getting him down is the fact that he's put on weight. But the weight is a real big sticking point in the series. Like, everybody has something to say about this weight. And I was like, it's really interesting that they've made this series given the weight. I feel like as a society, like, we've become a lot more body positive.
Was it positive for women or for men?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I found it really interesting because I'm like, the way that they are talking about his body feels excessive and like not a world that I live in. Even though I mentioned earlier that my cousin had put on weight and my grandmother was on him. But I was like, that's what I mean. That's her generation. It's really interesting to see. I'm assuming a generation just above us. And maybe that's the difference. Is they are the generation above us and they still engage in that sort of thing. But if I had a partner, unless I was worried for his health, and that's kind of what it starts out with Carol, that she's worried because he's got about his blood pressure and that he's not fit and he's got this condition with his dick and all of this stuff. But like, it starts to feel like everybody feels very comfortable to call him a fat bitch. And I didn't love that, especially when you know that like, there was a point, so before I knew about the belly, like, so David Harbour's wearing a prosthetic belly. Yeah. And I did think he must be because in that flashback to the interview that he was going to in Chicago, he's slimmer. I was like, there's no way he put on weight and lost weight for this show. It's not that serious. And he revealed that he did not do that. But I was like, he has been this big before. Like,
was he big in Stranger Things?
Yeah, he's not as big as he is in this. Yeah. But he's a lot bigger.
He's hench.
And it feels like I don't know, I feel type of way about playing a character that everyone's like, you're fat, you're so fat. When it's like, I looked like this yesterday.
But I think if it's all to contribute to what we eventually know at the end of the series, maybe there is a function as to why there's so much emphasis on his weight.
Why do you think there's no emphasis on his weight?
I think some of it is to indicate his lifestyle.
Which is?
That he's not as healthy as people anticipated, or like how he was before.
Yeah.
And so there is that expectation that, oh, because he's not the best shape, he will be a bit bigger now. And, you know, people are concerned if he's going to pass the life insurance test and things like that. I feel like the way that they put that pressure on was to basically imply that it's not all good from a health standpoint physically, and then potentially a reflection of how he is mentally.
Yeah, but I feel like it's the other way around though. His mental health is being affected by the way that people are interacting with the way that he looks.
Yeah.
Now, like if people were not saying, God, you're so big and we're really worried about you, you look really unhealthy, and he learnt to love his body as he's telling Clark to do at the end of the series, perhaps he wouldn't. Because the thing that is the turning point in the series, so going back, he's been watching them have sex. Watching them have sex is making him now just feel like he would like to start having sex with his wife again.
Yeah.
So, but for some reason, he suggests this to his wife, and she's like, yeah, sick, I'm down. And she's like, and also Clark is going to watch us. Because I want Clark to be able to experience what it was like for me to be in the cupboard, experiencing what it was like for the two of you. Because I feel like Clark feels guilty about fucking you because he's made me feel small. I don't want him to feel guilty. So if he goes in the cupboard, then he'll know that he shouldn't feel guilty. It was
interesting.
It was a very weird logical jump. I'm going to be honest. I found that scene a bit like some of the philosophy in this show. I can absolutely get behind someone believing that stuff, and some of it feels like what we need in order to continue the mystery. And that felt a little bit like we were doing it to continue a mystery. Like he could have said anything else in that moment and just said. In fact, it didn't even need to be his idea. It could have been Clark's. Like the fact that it's his idea, and he's putting it to Carol to have Clark come and watch him because it would really help him deal with how he feels about the fact that he had to watch Carol and Clark fuck.
But as you're saying it, it's making me think: did Floyd ask Clark to be in the cupboard so that he could watch Floyd?
No, 100%.
I mean, is this a sowing the seeds of? Maybe we're on the same page. Maybe, you know, you're going to pick up what I'm putting down.
100%. I think there is a psychosexual thing happening between the two of them. Whether it's a actual sexual attraction they try and see if it isn't. It's not. Right? At the end, they're trying to, Clark wants to get aroused for him and he can't. Because it's not sexual, but it's like a psychosexual thing in that like, I want what you have, and you want what I have. And maybe, like, me watching you fuck is going to give me what you have and vice versa. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a man, but I'm sure, like, there is an element of, like, you know, dick envy.
Yeah. Perhaps, yeah.
You know, penis. I think that's, like, that's a Freud, a term that Freud came up with, I think, penis envy. I think I only took psychology for one term, but...
it's interesting.
But, yeah, they put this to Carol... Yeah. She's like, fine. They go to the motel. Floyd and Carol start getting into it. And she's like, I feel disgusting with you on top of me.
Oh my God.
Like the feeling of you on top of me is making me want to squirm. I don't like this. I don't have the good feel. I'm not attracted to you and I don't have sex with you. Which is incredibly heartbreaking. The whole time, Clark's in the cupboard. Just in there, he's just in the cupboard.
Oh my God.
He's in the cupboard while Floyd gets dressed and leaves. Linda Cardellini gets dressed and leaves. Then Clark comes out. And when he comes out, Floyd, who has been like this ray of light throughout, and like even though, he can't provide for his family and he's worried about stuff and he says his heart flutters a lot, thinking about all the stuff that he's not providing, he still is like a ray of light to the people in his life. Yeah. His mood dips considerably. Like, he can't stop thinking about what she said. And Clark is desperate to help him. So, Clark creates a fake account on DTF St. Louis. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but Floyd has had one hit on DTF St.
Yeah.
And it was with a woman who was in fact a picture of David Bowie. So he just couldn't tell if it was one or not. And what's dumb is that he also showed this to Clark, and Clark was like, that's a gorgeous woman. Like, when beforehand. So, like, both of you apparently don't know what a woman looks like. But I think that goes into this thing of, like, the psychosexual thing that they're exploring about, like, oh, well, of course he's accidentally ended up on a date with a man because this is, like, a male...
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Male thing that they're experiencing. It seems like... Anyway, so he goes on this date. A dude turns up. He has the date with the dude, right? At the end of the date, the guy asks him to kiss him. Floyd's like, okay. The guy kisses him. And then Floyd goes to his car. The guy goes, and he tells Clark about it. He's like, turns out the girlie was not a girlie. It was a dude. And I kissed him because I felt bad. I felt like it wouldn't be nice to, like, leave on a sour note. So I kissed him. And then...
I mean, have you ever felt, like, guilty for not...
No, and I was like, I agree with, and this is such an interesting thing. If I went on a date expecting to meet a man and a woman turned up, even if I was the nicest person in the world, I might stay and have a conversation with you, but I won't kiss you.
No, I think we can make it clear that I think there's a bit of a mix-up.
I won't be kissing you. And the point where I'm talking about my wife and my son, but I guess people talk about their wives and sons all the time and still are gay, so it wouldn't make a difference.
But I mean, DTF has been positioned as like a swinging platform anyway, so it's not a surprise if he does talk about his wife and his kids. I didn't get the signals in the date that, they're gonna, not that they're gonna kiss, but also that the guy was gonna ask Floyd to kiss. I thought it was a bit of a surprise because when he said, we can French, I'm like, huh? Where did we get this from? This was given friendly, buddy, and maybe as a viewer we were expected to believe like, Floyd knows that this was a mistake and he's just trying to be kind, and as a result it's just gonna be a very friendly meal and have a bit of breakfast together. And I think that's, for us as a viewer, I was like, okay, this is how it's going to be. Of course, when they did kiss, even though it was kind of like, it wasn't forced, it wasn't like it was welcomed as much. Even I was surprised. And I was like, am I supposed to believe that maybe there's more to Floyd's character, like, or Floyd's sexuality? That being said,
keeps that as a thread in the mystery, right? The first time we hear about it is that he went on a date with a man, and then they're like, okay, so he's gay, and then Clark's like, no, he wasn't gay, but then we learn that he did actually go on a date with the man. We're like, so he is gay? It's like, no, he only kissed the man because he felt
that he didn't want to hurt the man.
He didn't want to hurt the man. It's like, well, you don't understand. It's like Floyd is like this sweetheart, and in that moment was like, kissing him is better than, I guess, being like, fuck no. So I'm just gonna let him kiss me, and then that will be that. And then the thing that he's worried about afterwards is, do you think I've led him on?
Yeah.
Do you think he understood? Do you think he felt like I only kissed him out of pity? Like, he is worried, supremely worried that he might have hurt that man's feelings.
Oh no.
More than he's worried about, like, whether he's, like, what he wanted in that situation.
I mean, yeah.
And anyway, I brought this up to say, when later on, when Floyd is upset about the failed sexual encounter with his wife, Clark decides to make an account as another dude.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I was like, why would you pick a dude again?
True.
Because that's why they thought he was gay. It's like, you met one guy and then you met up with another guy.
Maybe there was something that had happened off camera that they talked about, and he was like, whatever you think I am, I am. And maybe that was the case. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. My only other thing was, in the sequence of how it was shot, I felt like we found out about the tiger guy before we found out about Modern Love.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, so I feel at that point, you were like, well, maybe a bit of, like, maybe he's either bisexual or he is homosexual, and that's his thing, and he's just hiding this from the world. And this is when Carol finds out and blows up and kills him.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. And it's like, okay, you could argue you mistakenly met up with a man once, but can you mistakenly meet up with a man twice?
True.
And that's why I found this logic jump was kind of confusing, like the one about, oh, can Clark come watch us have sex? Because Floyd is sad. He feels unattractive. He feels unappreciated. He feels really, really shit about himself, right? And you, as his mate, decide, oh, I'm going to make a profile that's going to like his profile to make him feel better. And you decide to do a dude. You do that, right? And then off the back of that, for some reason, Floyd intellectualizes this as, oh, I'm going to meet him. And I'm going to meet him. And I'm going to see if he finds me attractive. And if he finds me attractive, then I will feel better about myself.
Yeah.
Which is like, so we've gone from not being attracted to men to still not being attracted to men, but wanting a man to be aroused for you. And I was like, I think this goes back to the penis envy thing as well, which is like, if you can get hard for me, then I must be attractive. And that means I still have worth. Like, whether or not, like, I have worth in the wider world. And that is such a man-only experience. Like, as a woman watching this, I'm like, this is a very bizarre way to feel good about myself. Like, if someone was like, oh, I'm going to get a lesbian to come to you and tell you that she wants to touch your boobs, and then that'll make you feel better. I'll be like, I'm not sure it will make me feel better about my husband cheating on me, but, like, go off, I guess.
It create confusion.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, this was not part of Clark's plan. He thought he would just send the like, Floyd would be like, oh, sick, and then move on.
Yeah.
No, he wants to meet Tiger. So Clark goes to, again, this was another, like, really funny moment. There's loads of funny moments in the show, but this was one where it's like, he goes to a Denny's in Boys Town, which is like a queer hotspot in Chicago. And he's sitting in the Denny's, hoping a gay man will come into the Denny's who he could ask to come and pretend to be Tiger for £100. Oh, and $900 and get hard as well, because they need to get hard. So he's like, tried to proposition the waiter the whole time. And the waiter's just like, I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like, that's completely fair, because this is not clear at all.
Yeah.
And then eventually he says, would you come and meet my friend and get hard for £900? And the waiter says, no. And then out pops Jacob from Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
He says, I'll do it. And so he goes to Jacob, whose name is not Jacob in the thing at all. But we don't know his name at this point. He is Tiger. We'll go with that. And he pays him the £900 to come and meet Floyd and get hard for him. And this is the point, going back to what I was saying earlier about the weight stuff, where I was like, this is becoming quite cruel. He comes a day early for some reason. They never explain why he comes a day early. He comes a day early and he stalks them for the day.
Yeah.
He sees Floyd, and when Clark comes over to be like, hey, what are you doing here? You're a day early. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore because your friend's not hot to me. He's older than I expected and his body is not tea. Floyd sees Clark talking to this stranger and asks him, like, who's that? And then Clark just tells him the truth. He just says, oh, that was supposed to be Tiger, but which I set up because it was fake. Tiger was me. He doesn't want to meet you though because your body's not tea.
Oh my gosh.
He just tells him.
I mean, it's the relationship they have together, but it's wild that he said it in that way. But again, I think there are two things. They've had to this point a really transparent relationship. Like the way they talk about DTF, or they talk about their fantasies, or not necessarily fantasies, but how their sex lives are, up to that point has been very, very open door policy, not really mincing words. The fact that they could tell each other that they don't really like their wives. Like, maybe for him, it's just like, we speak honestly. So,
but if we speak honestly, why would you set me up?
That isn't clear, and I don't think that's answered as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's plot. These are the bits that didn't track for me, because I'm like, this feels like plot, and there's no character logic to it. You set up a fake profile so he would feel good about himself. You then go and find a stranger to come and meet him to be aroused so he did feel good about himself, and then when the stranger falls through, you immediately just unveil the whole thing.
Yeah,
which feels, and in a very not kind to his feelings, knowing that the whole reason why you did this is because you're worried about him. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you'd set that up because you were worried about him, why would you then be like, oh, that was Tiger. I paid him, by the way. And he's saying he's going to give me back my £900 because you're so ugly to him.
Oh that actually was harsh. I know that it's to move the story along, it's to emphasize what we know at the end. But my God, today that was harsh.
It was
even harsh for a friend that I would consider in their relationships, they're just basically soulmates.
Yeah, it felt like a very strange decision that wasn't maybe earned because we're in a hurry because we need to move on to the other twists and turns that are going to come. Because we now know that it wasn't Jacob who killed him because Jacob never went to the meeting.
Yeah.
So who went and met him at the baths? Who went and killed him? We find out that Clark went to meet him. But when Clark went to meet him, it was to try and get aroused for him.
Yeah.
They danced together in the bars. I'm like, are these two gonna actually, is this what the series has been working towards? Like, we've had this like platonic romance this whole time and now it's just gonna be fully just going all the way. And it doesn't. And it is, again, the two of them are they speak to each other so, like, they are obsessed, they love each other. So they're constantly pouring into each other. You're brilliant, you're amazing. You got a heart of gold. My sign name for you is sunshine because you have sunshine in your face. Why my name for you is like heart of gold because you have a heart of gold. Like they're pouring into each other.
Yeah.
And I think Clark's trying to make it sexy and he's like, you know what, that's not what this is. Like, I'm just really sad and I'm really lonely and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the summer has been. I literally don't know what I'm doing with my life. And they hug it out and Clark leaves. And we realise that Floyd's stepson has come to the swimming pools. Yeah. And I haven't mentioned Floyd's stepson till now, so I'm going to very quickly explain. Floyd and Carol, this is their second marriage.
Yeah.
Carol has a son already. Floyd, when we first meet him at the top of the series, is trying to better his relationship with Richard. And it's Floyd's idea to move Richard to the private school, and through Floyd's relationship with Clark and Carol's relationship with Clark, they managed to get the money to send them there. And Floyd and Richard actually develop a very close relationship to the point where he's like, he doesn't call him dad, but he's like, you're a great father figure. And so for him to see Richard at the swimming pools means that Richard has figured out that Clark was on DTF St. Louis and has come to meet someone. And the someone he thinks it is Clark. So it's like, what, you're cheating on my mum with your best friend? Like, this is so messed up. So Richard is heartbroken. Floyd is heartbroken. And as Richard turns away, Floyd basically is so embarrassed and ashamed that he decides to end it all.
Literally.
So the last person he sees is Richard and he signs to him that he loves him. And then he takes these meds, which he had originally asked for so that he'd get his dick up. But fuck his wife. That didn't turn out.
Yeah.
So he brought it again thinking he might have sex with Tiger when he gets there. Again, massive jump. Anyway, takes it, dies. There was no murder.
Nope.
The mystery was that Floyd killed himself.
Yeah. It's really interesting because I think in his life, he has probably seen elements from his perspective where he has been a failure.
Okay.
Where he has failed in his marriage because his wife does not want to have sex with him. He's failed in his own sexuality because it doesn't seem to be clear on what he wants. And perhaps the things that he does want, he's been rejected by. Like, Tiger, okay, is not the best case scenario because the guy was paid, but he didn't want to have sex with you either.
But he also didn't want to, but that's the thing, the Tiger situation wasn't really a sexual one.
Okay, he didn't want to,
it was a
companion.
No, it was an attraction thing. It's like, I want to see if anyone is attracted to me.
Yeah. And in this case, it wasn't. He has kind of failed in the whole DTF St. Louis thing. Like, perfectly honest, no one was checking for him apart from Modern Love. Love?
Love, yeah. The Modern
Love. I think there's a lot of conversation about, his body, his physique, like him trying to like pass the test of the life insurance. And even he was surprised, like, have I failed?
Mm.
And the guy was like, I mean, you didn't excel, but you passed. Like, I think that was a shock to him.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many places where he has felt that maybe he has experienced failure. And I don't know, and taking a step back, the answer to that was, let me check out because I can't take this anymore. And it is surprising. Like I was surprised finding out how the story ends, especially with what we had seen, because actually, okay, he was down, he was depressed, he had experienced things that could put anyone into a low place. But I was surprised that it went to that extent. And maybe I'm gonna be caveat, I didn't get to finish the end of that episode in time for the recording. So maybe if I watch it, maybe I'll be able to see that moment that he felt like, I've got to this place where I don't want to continue.
I think it was impulsive. And I think that's I mean, I'm not a suicide expert, but from what I know to this point, like a lot of suicides are planned.
Yeah.
It's something that if you have suicidal thoughts, you don't just have it that day and then act on it that day and it's over, right? I don't think they're usually impulsive. But that's not to say that they never are. I'm sure that there's some have been, but they're not usually impulsive.
Yeah.
And in the show, he doesn't go to the baths. I mean, the swimming pool. I keep calling baths. I'm sounding really posh.
The baths?
He don't go to the baths. He doesn't go to the swimming pool with the intention of doing that.
Yeah.
Right? He's gone to the... It's actually weird why he goes to the swimming pool is another one that I was a little bit confused on, because he knows that Tiger's not coming. Yeah. But Clark says to him, why don't you just go anyway? Just go to the swimming pool really early and go for a swim.
Or just
see where life takes you. See where the night takes you, right? And so he's going to the swimming pools in the night because he couldn't get there early otherwise. Yeah. Yeah. His intention is not to kill himself. But the thing is, he has taken this concoction he's taken all of his dick pills, so all of his like Viagra pills and the pills to straighten out his curvy penis. And then he's taken with him the medicine that will surely make his dick hard, that could also kill him. Yeah. What for a situation in which you are planning to go swimming, that feels like an over what's the word? Like overkill. I don't want to say kill because and now it makes me wonder if
it was planned.
Yeah,
because there's a scene again. I haven't seen all the way to that final point, but there's a scene where he is pouring the medication into the bottle.
Yeah, but that was on purpose.
So maybe it was planned then.
No, but because that was part of bring the medication in case someone turns up to
maybe
who's sexy and you want to have sex with them.
Yeah, true.
But now I'm even thinking back to the conversation that where him and Clark have about this thing. It's like, but this plan is weird. It doesn't really make any sense. Why do you need to go and sleep at the swimming pools in order to go swimming really early in the morning?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's maybe
it was
him sitting there saying like, this, I want to do that. Like, this is what I want to do. I want something to happen. And Clark inadvertently, maybe in his heart of heart, knowing, but not really knowing and like feeding into the plan as well. In which case, then it makes a little bit more sense, actually. And it feels less like a
big shock at the end.
Yeah. I think he feels very guilty. I think he feels probably more guilty than anything that Richard knows.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the other thing. Like, he felt maybe potentially rejected by his son or stepson.
Yeah.
Without knowing, because he doesn't know. He never had the conversation after he found out that Richard knew.
No. Richard says that he calls him an asshole, but you actually don't ever see that in the show. But I wonder if, like, at that point, his marriage is basically done. Yeah. Because if you could not have sex with each other, but you love each other, but like, I think David Harbour said this in the interview I read, when he said that their values systems are different.
Yeah.
Like when he comes to her and says, I want to be an ASL interpreter, he's so excited that he feels like he's found
his calling.
Yeah. And she's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Which is reasonable, because I sent you into town
to get money, baby.
And you come, it's literally like Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm giving you money to go sell this cow. You come back with 3 beans. Telling you, the beans is gonna do what? And that's why they chuck the beans out the window, because are you stupid?
Yeah.
And now there's a beanstalk. It's given very that.
Yeah.
But that's the issue. If he had a wife that was more in keeping with him, they would be dirt poor. But when he came and said, I know what it is, she would be like, I love that for you, and would still be aroused by him, and all of that stuff would still exist. And I think vice versa. He obviously doesn't think that her money worries are that legitimate. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a tax. But he says to Clark, I don't even look at the letters anymore. To have the luxury to just have checked out of a situation that you created. Meanwhile, your wife is working 2 jobs to support you, her son, and herself, and you are going on wine dates and signing with your new best friend in front of me, so I don't know what's going on. Like, and now I've rejected you quite literally. Like, I cannot imagine what it would feel like to get into bed with your husband and for him to be like, ugh.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
It's true.
Are we coming back from that?
I mean, in that case, and in this case, no. My only observation was, does that send a message of, if things are down, the next entry point and the next step is ending it all? Of course, viewers that have critical thinking will not believe that. But yeah, it was just a general thought of like, this could have been a very different story. He could have, I mean, maybe it would have meant talking to someone that's not Clark, that's not his wife, and trying to get himself out of this hole that he's in. I know there's a lot of this actually is about mental health, it's about depression, it's about suicide, and in this case, perhaps suicidal thoughts, as you were mentioning before. And I think it's so important that they did touch on this topic in this show, especially with the age group, especially with men.
Yeah, who are the most likely to commit suicide.
Yeah, exactly. My thing is if we're showing the final point being the suicide, and then also like Clark's life being blown up as well. I don't know. I felt like it's not an easy way out, because I actually think it's very realistic. Some people could experience this. I just wasn't sure if like, could the final part of this story being revealed in a different way? Again, I'm conscious this is a thriller, so actually the payoff for the audience is like, he killed so like, oh, how did he die? I'm just trying to think of like the wider social commentary we're trying to say with this show. And maybe that's not, maybe I shouldn't be thinking this.
I think it's interesting that like, you like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing is that you feel like the show is potentially, the word you used was like, oh, is the show suggesting this is a way out, as if the show is advocating for what happens. I didn't get the impression the show's advocating for suicide, but I think it's interesting that like, had it ended with someone having murdered him, would you have been like, the show's advocating for murder?
No, I wouldn't have.
And
I wouldn't have.
Isn't that more to do with the fact that like, I don't think the show's advocating for what happens. I think it's just showing you what can happen. And it is, I didn't feel, I felt bereft. I truly did feel bereft, because I was like, this person was a light in the world, but like, I can understand how for him, perhaps, that wasn't enough. And that isn't that the sad thing about suicide? It's like, it's not about the fact that we all want you here.
Yeah.
It's about the fact that you don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. And what can be done in that scenario. Like, Clark was literally just with you.
Yeah.
You have things in your life, you have people in your life that love you. But if you feel like you just keep messing up, and again, I'm not trying to be like, these are the feelings that justify killing yourself. And I think that is often debated when we show these things on screen or in a book. But I don't know if there is ever a good reason to kill yourself,
Same.
I don't know if there is, and so I don't know if it's possible for anyone to show you a suicide that feels like, well, that was a ethical, that was an ethical one.
True.
I think it's just like one of those sad realities. And honestly, you could even argue maybe he didn't mean to kill himself. Maybe it was genuinely an accident. Maybe he drank the rest of that medicine thinking that maybe he would pass out.
Yeah.
Maybe he would just feel numb for a bit. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I don't know. So can't even say that's what the show was trying to get at. Like, he deliberately kills himself. I think it's a little bit open-ended.
Yeah.
Because you don't see the thought process. You don't hear him say, well, I'm going to kill myself. You don't have any of that stuff. And it can be like that, can't it? Like, an overdose can happen like that.
It's true. No, it's just got me thinking, and I think it's definitely to do with of course, subject matter, the actual cast as well. Like they're not young men;
Yeah.
they're older, middle-aged men in the suburban America, where probably these kind of conversations don't happen. Not necessarily about suicide, but the conversations that two friends had in terms of like sex life and sexuality and the openness they had, as a relationship, but also a very close friendship as well. So that was where my thinking was. I did see a comment against a video that reviewed the series, and the comment was, "It's sad to see like a show about male friendship had to include a murder, basically a murder mystery or a thriller, or the only way to start talking about subjects around male friendship, suicide, loneliness, is to wrap it around the world of a murder mystery," which was quite interesting to think about in that sense. Because
but how many shows do that?
No, that's what I'm saying. There's not many.
Oh, well, but they were saying it's a shame to see it.
It's a shame that a show that revolves around male loneliness and friendship with men of that age had to be surrounded by a murder mystery.
Because people wouldn't watch it otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but people wouldn't watch anything like that otherwise. No, that's not to you. I'm just like, that is such a dense comment. What shows get made? Oh, come watch this show. It's just about some guys who are sad about that. Like, who gives a fuck about that? I'm not going to wake up, spend all day working to come home to watch two men sitting on a sofa chatting shit.
You know what?
No, don't.
What I think could be, look, the show, as we talked about in episode 1, could have gone into different directions. Could have been a dark comedy about swinging.
Which it is.
Yeah, and it could have been a procedural, a thriller, a murder mystery thriller.
Which it is. No, but it is both. It is all those things.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. When I saw that comment, I thought, okay, that is quite interesting because you needed to have both.
You did, yeah.
But could you just have a show that's about?
No. No. Be honest with yourself. Would you watch that show?
Not for 7 episodes.
Well,
I would watch the male, like them having that dynamic, and then the swinging element that he's cheating on his wife.
How long would you watch that with no stakes?
Probably 3 or 4 episodes. 3 or 4 episodes, 30 minutes, because it's a comedy, not a drama.
A 4-episode comedy.
4 30-minute episodes, yes, that's 2 hours.
And you think someone's going to commission that and someone's going to go away and make that? What money are they going to make off that show? 2 hours of TV.
Let's just say it's more 6 hours, but no, sorry, 6 episodes.
More hours.
6 episodes. I'm also going to say that there's more crap on TV that does with thinner premises.
No, there's more crap on TV with thinner premises, but I also don't think you're getting the likes of Jason Bateman and David Harbour to sign up for a little buddy comedy about 2 guys who like each other. What are you talking about?
I think you could have had that story.
Also, given that this is based roughly on a true story.
Yeah, I get.
The murder was actually the thing. I think that's the thing that's interesting. The murder came first. The thriller elements came first. The friendship came afterwards.
Yeah,
that was them trying to inject heart into otherwise a generic domestic noir.
True. But I think, and you're right, because the thing that is most poignant is the friendship.
Yes.
And it's the thing that actually keeps, for the most part, this series going. For me personally, when I was worried about pace, because at times it felt slow. Like, get to the point.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of this scene of watching David Harbour, what's it called? Parkouring.
Doing the trapeze.
It's on the trapeze. It's on the bench.
Pommel horse.
Pommel horse and a bit of like break dancing / thing on that railing.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of that scene? Of course,
it's funny. No, but that was the point of the scene.
I know. And also, shoot it too.
Yeah, because it's a stunt double. So obviously a stunt double.
I know.
And that made me laugh as well. Why are you...
But also what was annoying was pissing me off is because they did a shot of like a side profile of the sun. The sun did not move that whole time. Yeah, so it looked so like fake. Like they just like,
even when I was walking back, he's like, shut the fuck up. You didn't do anything. If you do it every day, then you do it every... Shut the fuck, you didn't do shit!
I've been a bit unhealthy, that's why, like, you know, that's why I'm breathing a bit more.
It made me laugh because it's like, I want, and this is what I'm talking about, the way that they dealt with his weight, right? If you are in you have the physicality to do that.
Yeah.
This is all about appearance. It's not about a real... It's not, oh yeah, we're really worried about your health. What health that man... Did you see what that man just did? But the fact that he hasn't shown that to anyone else but that boy.
True.
There's lots about himself, even though he is this very open and honest and caring person, that he is keeping beneath the surface, which is very interesting. I don't think we get to unpack like what is that? Is that just he's just such a humble guy that he's like, oh, I don't need to make a big deal about the stuff that I could do. I just can do stuff.
True.
But then you care very much about what people think of you. So that means you know, how do you square those two things away? Which is like, I know I'm the shit, but equally other people don't think I'm the shit, and that's making me really upset.
No, you're right. I don't think we learned a lot about that aspects of his life, apart from kind of how he felt with his wife, him talking about the weight, but the impact of the weight on him. If that makes sense. So it was interesting. Look, this series unpacks themes that needs to be talked about. The same way we talked about adolescence, like talking about themes that are prevalent in manhood. Yeah. And the manhood of today, at whatever age, of course, adolescence was about adolescence. And this is about the kind of older male epidemic that we are seeing as well. Of course, suicide is what we're seeing across the full spectrum. But again, focus on this age group in particular was, of course, I know it's deliberate, but also really interesting to unpack. So the points I mentioned earlier about like that being the easy way out in terms of the storytelling, it was kind of trying to see the different angles, but also I know that it was important for them to do this. I know it was important for them to talk about this particular age group. It was important that potentially that was the ending point, because I would have also hated to see if any of the other quote-unquote suspects actually did the killing, because it just didn't make sense. There was no need to kill him. I
also wonder if, like, I was just, as you were talking, it made me think about the comment that you said that person made about, like, oh, why couldn't we have this without the suicide? But, like, masculinity and violence go hand in hand. Suicide is a form of violence. It's violence towards yourself. Yeah. You just mentioned adolescence, and that was an opportunity for us to look at relationships between, like, fathers and sons, and that involved violence, didn't it? Like,
but could you have a story without the violence?
I don't think, this is what I'm saying. I actually think that violence and masculinity are not that, it's not like womanhood and violence. Like, I mean, violence actually affects us all. Let me be clear. Violence affects us all, and our relationship to violence is different, I think, because of our genders. And so the idea that you're going to tell a story about what it means to be a man and not in some way touch that thing feels bizarre. When you think, even if you think about, okay, what about fun things like Creed? Isn't that about boxing?
It's true.
What's that?
It's true.
What are action films about what it means to be a man and doing a war? What it means to be a man and beating the shit out of people? Like, those things do go hand in hand. I'm sorry you guys don't get girls trip. You don't get boys trip.
But why can't I get boys trip? I want to film about
that person.
I want to film. It's Entourage, basically.
Exactly, and that show is incredible.
Yeah. I know.
It's violent in its misogyny, at least.
Not Entourage. The Hangover, that's what I'm thinking of. That's boys trip.
Also violent. And it is boys trip. You're right.
Yeah, but
it's boys trip. So we have, you do have it.
Yeah, but we did a modern day boys trip, because Entourage was like, what, 15 years ago?
Hangover was not that long ago, surely.
Sorry, Hangover. Keep saying Entourage.
Like
2010s or like late 2000s.
Late 2000s?
Let me just double check before I start speaking. And also remember there was Hangover 2.
Exactly, and 3.
Oh, what? Bruh.
They took those boys trips very seriously.
2002 was the first one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 2002 was the first Hangover.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I can't have been watching that film at 2002.
No.
I wasn't even a second.
You must have been watching it when they went on ITV.
Oh, sure.
Like 2 years later.
8 years later.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah, so final remark.
Yeah,
I actually really enjoyed the series. I thought it was really charming. I think the direction was really cool. There were lots of really interesting shots. I mean, like, the director was definitely trying to create a world here. And I think that I've never grown up in a suburb. I've never been a middle-aged man, but I've definitely felt this sort of like cold, empty space that would definitely lend itself to your mind. Like, there's nothing else to distract you, right? It's just rows and rows of similar houses filled with similar families going through the same shit. And I found that I felt like that contributed to me. I've been thinking a lot about that. Sorry, now I'm having a stroke. I've been thinking about it a lot recently. The fact that, like, for something to really grip me, it also has to construct a world around me.
Yeah.
I need to feel like I'm going somewhere when I watch it. I felt like I was going somewhere. I think the palette, everything, the palette, the shot choices, the actors, like, it really created a sense of atmosphere. And even the two detectives, like, I really enjoyed their rapport. When we got to the end of the series, I'm like, damn, I'm sad we're not going to get to see these two, like, investigators.
Very unlikely pairing as well.
Yeah, because it's a limited series. I mean, it is completely about, like, Floyd and Clark and Carol. There's no way you can bring it back, you know, and call it DTF of St. Louis too, like, DTF San Andreas, like, you know, I maybe you just move locations, but those two, like, the dynamic between those two detectives, I actually grew to really enjoy. I literally couldn't stop laughing when he would mentioning to everyone that he was into Indiana Jones porn as part of his, like, and this is what, and they found him in the bars, and obviously he's obsessed with Indiana Jones porn, and they're like, what's Indiana Jones porn? And he's like, don't look it up. And then there's one point where he's in the bar, and it's after the female detective Plum says to him, that's not porn. Like, if you want to see Indiana Jones porn, you can type in Indiana Jones and dicks and see so much more. And so he's in the bar, which is crazy, by the way, in a public space, to type in Indiana Jones and dicks. And the first picture is a guy on a boat with a penis so big, it's bigger than the boat. And then he's just like, He's so upset. He's so upset that he looked it up. It made me laugh so much. And then when he was talking to, what's the guy? When he's talking to Modern Love, and Modern Love says there was a bit of arse play, and he writes down on his piece of paper, AP. And then later on he mentions arse play again and goes, oh yeah, left cheek. And then he writes it down, LC. I'm like, this is completely irrelevant. Are you taking your job seriously or not?
But it also is giving, like, I'm so out my element. So
I should write this down.
Just so that I know. But also, AP could mean anything, but I'm like, anything.
When you look back on this piece of paper and when it says APLC, are you going to know what that means?
But also, it's like just knowing,
Now, if I see the words APLC, I'm going to think arse play left cheek. Got it?
No.
Got it.
Also, why this left cheek? Anyway.
That's what I mean. He wrote it down. I was like, I wonder if they'll come back to this at some point.
Probably.
No, they did not. Because it was completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
But I love that for the detective. He was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Arse playing in the parking lot.
But the way they were gossiping about,
cheeks?
so he killed her because, you know, they were having an affair. And also, but he seems to really like him. But does he like men? Like, it felt like it was like a bit of a gossip sesh. Like, so where's the rest of this story going?
Yeah. Clearly one of the themes is like, what goes on in suburbia?
Yeah.
Because they kept saying like, what are you guys doing around here? And then Modern Love says that thing about like, oh yeah, all the families look normal if you're looking from your side of the street or whatever.
No.
And it's like, yeah, because they're all in there just like pegging their husbands and like sucking on dildos and marrying their maids. I don't know. Like, you know, it's all supposed to be...
housewife is going on.
Literally like this much like, it's way seedier than you think.
Yeah.
And I love that when we first meet Detective Plum, she goes, I'm porn positive. And he's like, what? She's like, I'm porn positive. And he's like, what? It's like, we use porn in our marriage. And he's like,
oh, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was a thing.
I liked the dynamic.
Yeah.
Because usually I feel like you play that character as like someone kind of irritating and woke.
Yeah.
And actually it's just like, no, on this one thing, we like porn in my house.
Yeah.
And that's how I could tell you,
that's not...
this ain't porn.
Yeah.
And when she goes home and tells her husband, like, says to her husband, you know, like, it's just, I really enjoyed them. Yeah. I really enjoyed them. Yeah. And I'm sad that we're not going to see them again, but They're both nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
No, it's amazing. I think that the whole cast.
Yeah, the whole cast is nominated.
Cast. So, like, for me,
the writer.
Yeah,
of
course, yeah. My final thoughts were, this show had layers that quite a lot of shows have not. Like, we have talked about, I think from like last year, even into now, that we have not really been that excited by a lot of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shows do feel one-dimensional. And from episode 1, we get the bait and switch, whatever you want to call it. Like, I thought I was coming in for a comedy. Actually, it's a thriller. I thought that, it's going to be a quick, like, I know who's going to kill it, but actually you get layers and layers, and then you realize you're rooting for everyone.
Yeah.
And you don't want anyone to be involved.
Yeah.
Including Floyd. Yeah. So I think to watch a show that has so many layers and watch each layer like an onion be unveiled with each episode or within elements of each episode was really fun to watch. Mm-hmm. And it made it feel rich. And I think that's the thing. I just felt like, oh, this is different. And that feeling of like, oh, this is not a regular run-of-the-mill type of show.
Yeah.
Happened very, very quickly. And I think that's why I definitely think it was a great recommendation from our listener.
Yes, thank you so much. But also, other people had recommended it to me too.
Okay,
and I was going to mention this at the beginning, but I actually had tried to watch it before.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get into it.
That's so interesting.
Like, I watched the first 10 minutes, so I was like, something about the tone and the literal grading. I was like,
it's
true.
Do
this today.
It was a bit somber, and I kind of felt like that a bit with Ozark as well. When
Ozark has a very similar
like great thing. But that being said, we got the recommendation. As I said, I love Jason Bateman.
I think David Harbour's really hot.
I know you do, but Jason Bateman's always been that for me. Like, from Arrested Development days.
What a great moustache. Do you know
Jesus Lord.
How powerful you have to be to grow a moustache like that?
Is that his real one? Because he got a fake belly.
Yeah, but he has the same moustache in Stranger Things.
Okay,
I think he just grows a good moustache.
Yeah.
And that's very rare.
Yeah. But for me, I loved the layers of the show. I liked that it wasn't your run-of-the-mill show. I liked that it took dark comedy and it felt like it lived to that name. We've talked about shows that use the comedy drama banner, for example, The Bear, and sometimes it doesn't deliver in that way or the best ways, or you get confused and then you get to the award shows and you're like, where do you put this show? Mm-hmm. Whereas this one, I would happily put it, I don't think they're going to have a separate category for dark comedy, but it makes sense in either one.
I think it is. Yeah.
But for me, it skews a little bit more drama, like probably like, and just by the duration of the shows.
It has a narrative, so I think for that reason it wouldn't count as a comedy.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a big flag about pacing, but it does make up for it because you get enough payoffs in the episodes for it. For those moments that do feel slow, it feels like the build-up is worth it, even though there are moments where it's like, keep it moving, let's keep going. We're so close to revealing what is happening. So yeah, overall, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I just want to shout out one of the scenes that I really enjoyed that I didn't get to mention earlier, which is when Floyd is talking to Clark's wife, and he's like, oh, she's talking about wanting to take her daughter to a dance class, and he's like, oh, you have to go to this dance class, and she's like, oh, did you take your son? And he's like, yeah, we actually booked the class for him, but he never went, so I went, and I've been going ever since. I love the class. And then they cut to him in the class with like literal 10-year-olds. There's like 3 other 10-year-olds and him, and they're dancing to Lip Gloss by Lil Mama. And they're all taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, how could you not fall in love with him? This is one, hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to think that you all got together and you said, okay, so for this scene, we're gonna have to teach you choreography, and you're gonna have to do the choreography, and you're gonna have to take it really seriously because we're going to play it for laughs, but in order for that to work, you have to take it really seriously. Jason Bateman's just sat in the back as well, watching the stars for some reason. And I also just loved it because I genuinely thought, like, the thing about this show is it really does give you these pockets of, like, warmth and comfort for it being as dark as it is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mind just slotting in something that's like, this is just for laughs. This is absolutely no bearing on the plot.
Yeah.
We never come back to his dance class, apart from then we see him. He does mention that, like, he's like, oh yeah, I try and when I'm interpreting it at concerts, I try to also put the dance moves in so they know what it feels like as well, like the vibe of the music.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then you see him at the concert doing that exact thing.
Yeah. The one thing that took a while, and I know it gets explained, is the opening credits where Jason Bateman is doing karate.
Yes.
I kept on thinking, like, this opening credit doesn't match.
It's really long as well.
It is. And other things, but this found it fascinating, so I kept on watching, even though you could skip the recap, not the recap, skip the intro. But I kept on being like, this is so odd for what this show is about, and X, Y, and Z. And okay, we don't touch on the weather, like him being a weatherman for that long anyway. It just feels odd, and it gets explained towards
but do you know? But do you? Because he says that he just had a breakdown.
Yeah, and he did karate.
Why?
No,
I think again that might be another moment that was just for laughs.
Yeah,
because they never actually explain like, did he used to do karate? Is that something that was inside? Like, does he do karate when he's stressed?
It was just for the opening credits. Literally, like, we're gonna put you in some very random moment. And we'll take a snippet of this and put it at the beginning of every single episode.
And nobody else ever talks about it on the show. No one's ever like, hey, remember that time we did the karate? It was really weird and we didn't like it. Like, it's just moved on from very quickly. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. Okay, what would you rate it?
The Bear is still probably the best thing I've watched all year. This is a close second. Actually, yeah, this is a close second. Nothing's going to beat the Bear for me this year. Sorry, that's what it is. So I would give this like a 4 out of 5.
So likewise, I think
the lack of depth to the women means that you can't get the 4 or 5 guys. You said you didn't work very hard on the girlies. You was focused on the book. And I think that's always the problem with the shows that are about men.
Yeah.
You act like men exist without women, and they don't.
Yeah. I think from that, it was a big flaw of like, we didn't see anything about Clark's wife. I just think, like, we see some, it's just not enough to, again, well, you kind of want something to emphasize, like, him having an affair, the impact it's having on his life.
No, for real.
And you don't get that.
He's so in it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not like a light affair where you're seeing someone once in a while. You're spending all your time with the husband, and then you're fucking the wife.
So it's,
what time do you have for your family?
He was cheating on her with both of them. So, like, there's not enough depth there. So that is a good point. Pace, I think, is the reason why I put it at 4 out of 5. Yeah. But apart from that, like, it was a great show. Like, we have watched some duds, and this is definitely stood out, and it stood out very quickly of like, oh, this has levels, and this has layers, and this is really interesting. So yeah. We will watch whatever you guys recommend next.
Yeah, feel free to share your recommendations. I think
please,
it's lovely to hear what you guys are watching as well. And if it's shit, we're gonna have to cuss you on the pod, but like, at your own risk, at your own peril. Do you know what I mean?
I'm so done.
We might not name and shame you, but if you make us watch a show that's really bad. Oh, that was the thing I forgot to mention.
What?
Addendum. This is a postmark for the previous episode. So on the previous episode, we had talked about
David Johnson,
and we talked about, we thought this about Rye Lane. We spoke about Rye Lane for, I want to say, 15 minutes on the pod. We didn't review it. It was part pop culture.
Oh, because we watched the film together, yeah.
I hated the film, apparently.
Did you?
I hated the experience. And then as I was talking, I was like, I do remember this. Okay. You said that I was huffing and puffing throughout the film.
Yeah, I mean, that's a clear sign that you don't like the film.
And I said that I don't like rom-coms. So yes, that's why I gave the film a 2 out of 5.
Okay, yes.
We didn't talk about David Johnson's performance at all. We did say we didn't buy the chemistry between the couple, but we never actually spoke about either one of their performances.
I thought you said that she wasn't that great.
I said that to you in private.
Oh, okay. No?
But time's passed now.
Yeah.
We'll all survive.
What if we meet her? Have you seen her stuff afterwards?
Yeah, she was in a Amazon show.
Okay. Yeah.
But we didn't say anything. So David Johnson, we actually do wish you the best. We had nothing bad to say to you. We've never had anything bad to say about you.
You know what? You've been a great star in industry as well. So like, I'm excited to see him. Look, I'm excited to see David Johnson. One thing about him, he's humble, he's kind. and I think he will play an amazing.
Do you know him? He's up and cried this very strong word.
You know why? Because I'm just basing it on how they announced him, and he just came out so humble and so kind.
Very British.
So British. But we're excited to see how they're going to Americanize him.
Oh, yeah. But he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's already done an American accent in a film before. Okay. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, and this is for you to look up after we get off the pod.
Yeah.
We spoke at length about a man called Austin Martin. And I don't know if you remember him.
Maybe.
But I want you to look him up, and I want you to think about where we were in 2023 in terms of the lustfulness.
Was he an actor?
No.
Oh, it was him?
No, on TikTok.
Oh my God, was it Big Bum?
Yeah. Have you seen him recently?
No. Has he done?
I went on there for 2 seconds. I had to close it. I said, this is getting stupid. Go to...
Oh my God, I remember Austin Martin. I remember him.
Go to this video, right? This is the one that I saw when I went to look him up, because I didn't know who we were talking about.
Yeah.
Wait, look, he's even wearing a suit. I said, oh, Shoshanna's going to love this. Wait. This is porn. This is porn. Have you ever seen anyone look that big?
Yeah, how his trousers even fit? No, that's crazy.
Double cheeked up in the trousers. And he starts the video. Oh, I bought this suit a while ago, and before I put on weight, I don't know if the suit will fit.
Crazy.
Slut.
Yeah. There was a guy on TikTok that he's like, I am training my bot. I'm doing my glutes every day. Yeah, I'm doing my glutes every day to see if my trousers will fit or stop fitting. And he was like, day one. Now I'm like, now it's really big. Like it's getting to the point where you're gonna get too big.
It can't be too. It's never too big.
No, it's getting
never
big.
too big.
I realized I haven't seen this guy in a while, so let me keep on. Let's see. I
actually closed it because I said I'm actually not that thirsty anymore.
The suit looks great.
I'm not that thirsty anymore.
As someone who loves the suit,
I just want the listeners to know, of the two of us, people would think it's me. It's you.
He became really thick. Yes, that's been really great. Like, I'm really glad that we took our listeners' recommendation, and I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah.
So, this has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshanna
and Marnie.
Thanks, guys. Bye.